Hello, guys. Welcome back to the PUBG Continental PCS Season 2, brought to you and sponsored by Predator, PUBG Corp, and none other than Geek Events. My name is ICBaby12. Join with me is going to be none other than Play of the Jade, the man, the myth himself. How are you feeling today, Jay?
I'm doing absolutely amazing, Terrence. I hope you're feeling the same after we did observe one awesome action-packed day to start off PCS2. And man, can you even pick a winner at this point?
Well, as of now, just based on yesterday's performance here, we've seen a couple of teams that really stood out here and a couple of underdogs that really stepped up in yesterday's games. One of these underdogs here is a Malaysian fan favorites here is none other than Battle Arena Elites here. Yes, from us here, we as Malaysians, we've seen them play, but on an S tier tournament like this, especially on the PUBG Continental Series, for them to be performing and stomping out despite having early rough start, they finished at top two by the end of the day yesterday itself. It just proves themselves that Malaysians have a lot of talent here, and I'm looking forward to see if they can keep up with the consistency and then just take it all the way. And of course, we're talking about another team who's also the current team that's dominating the entire tournament itself is none other than Day Trade Gaming here. Jay, we know Day Trade Gaming has been playing very consistent. They are one of the first few teams, even on the main channel itself. They say it's super rare to see a pro team or any other team in this scale to hit the 2-0 kill mark in a single match.
Yeah, definitely quite the rarity to really hit that mark there. But yeah, definitely big wins like that do cement credentials there for taking away the entire championship. Now, let's not take away from Battle Arena Elites. I mean, I know we talked about them already, but they got 17 kills. So they're only 3 shy of getting such a big win like we saw from the likes of Day Trade. So anything can happen. And maybe Battle Arena Elites are going to continue with their streak here on Erangel as we are moving here into day number 2. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick look at our overall schedule here for PCS2. So we are here for day number 2, 30th of August. So we're going to have another 4 more rounds to play here. And we're going to be doing the same next weekend and the following weekend after that for a total of 24 rounds. And we got the best participating teams here coming out from Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, and of course, Oceania.
Yep, these are going to pretty much all your teams here, and the total prize pool being competed by all these teams is up to 200,000 US dollars. On top of that, 12.5% of all in-game purchases brought to you by you guys here. So if you want to support your team here, better start making those purchases here. Buy a BAE costume or support BAE tickets. Is gonna be amazing. We saw a couple. I did manage to catch a couple of comments as well supporting. Hey, Battle Arena Elites. Oh no, they were playing so bad. Why did I support them? Oh, come on, man. We gotta support them. If that's your favorite team, support it. Don't just back out and then be toxic. Because they had a couple poor games. Because yesterday's first 2 games, when I was reading through the comments, I was like, yeah, everyone's just bashing on BAE. But guess what? They stepped it out game 3. They stepped it up game 4. So, we got to be there for them here, especially if you're a Malaysian, you're supporting team, go for it. Sounds a little bit biased. Yes, we are biased. We are going to be casting on behalf of from the Malaysian region. However, before we get a little bit more in-depth on BAE side, this is going to be the schedule for you guys here. Today, we're going to be playing Miramar at Miramar, Erangel for all a total of the 4 matches, and the point system is will be on the right of your screen as well. First place takes 10 points, second place takes 6 points, third place gets 5th point, fourth place gets 4 points, fifth place gets 3 points, sixth place gets 2 points, 7 to 8 place get 1 point, 9 to 16 gets non-existent points, but 1 kill gets 1 point here, Jay.
Yeah, so definitely it's going to be a matter of balancing the 2 aspects of placement and kills. And Day Trade currently is the one leading the pack in this regard. They got the 49 points on the back of 33 kills. And especially that one monstrous game really did help them pull and put themselves into that pole position. Battle Arena Elites, of course, we did talk about how they did manage to get those two really good results there on Erangel. In the final round of which, when they came second, they only had two players and they managed to stick with it all the way until the end there, until, of course, they couldn't sustain anymore against the likes of Divine Esports, who have 37 points. And these guys are looking reminiscent of the kind of form that we saw from them in 2019, which made them so formidable. But in recent times here in 2020, they've sort of fallen off a little bit. So hopefully this could be a little bit of a resurgence for them as they round out that top three.
Yep, and Fury has been one of the most consistent teams so far out of the games. We've not seen a couple of flashy plays except for yesterday's final match of the day, where Joxy was just keeping BAE on his tracks and got a lot of kills at that Harry Potter tower. But Fury, by far, living up to the names, they are the veterans coming into PCS2 as well, and they did finish in 4th place during PCS1, but now they're still at 4th. It seems to be nothing much has changed for these guys. However, Buriram United Esports, a couple of really rough games as well. The first two games, they did manage to step up on the 3rd and 4th game, almost securing the final chicken dinner. Unfortunately, they were shut down by BAE. We did see a lot of couple interesting rivalry happening in the bottom side of the pack as well, coming from yesterday's game. Division X Gaming, they've got their chicken dinner in the first game to start things off, and slowly fell off, which is kind of unfortunate as well. We have Kaiser Tuna going to be on a 7th place here. We have no chicken dinners yet. Game Home Esports, 8th place. Very consistent run, very aggressive coming from them. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to secure their placement points. X Stadium as well, on very, very high kill volumes coming from yesterday's games. Fell off after 3rd, 4th game as well. Astra, 10th place here. Very consistent run, but just couldn't secure themselves better placements and also positionings as well. Victim Rise get a couple of really, really rough hiccups as well. 11th place with 15 points. Archangel Predator, Filipinos Pride. I feel like they've played really well. It's just that the circle just did not favor them at all. Cerberus Esports and MSA Theathon. Here's a team that I really want to talk about, Jay. How the two of the best teams coming from Vietnam and Thailand not stepping it up, considering that they are from the two toughest region that pretty much decides the meta in this tournament itself.
Yeah, and this one is always one that we talk about endlessly here when we talk about the regional competition, especially since especially over the course of yesterday and previous times, we talk about how like say Cerberus and MSC Theathon, they qualified for 2 PCSs in a row in that top position in their respective leagues, and that would lend to the idea that they're going to be able to bring it out here. But yeah, it's always been adjusting for the regional play and all the different styles that we tend to see coming out from the respective countries, which is difficult for them to deal with. They've definitely shown the consistency when it comes to the Thai or the Vietnamese meta, but it's always been a struggle coming up here to Southeast Asia or to APAC levels and really bringing it out. MSC Theathon, I can understand that maybe, okay, these guys, the last PCS1 was the first time that we did see them get to this stage, albeit they did have 2 players who did have a lot of experience from that coming out from the old Tokyo Striker team. But for the most part, they're relatively new as a 4-player team. But Cerberus, we've seen them play at this level since last year, and they always look as though that they're always going to either completely have a monstrous game like what we saw from Daytrade yesterday, dropping the 30 bomb, but at the same time, they're just not consistent about it. And yeah, we've seen both of those two teams struggling over the course of yesterday, and they're languishing here in the second half of the table, just barely breaking that double-digit point barrier. And I wonder if that they're going to be able to, go and rethink how they want to try and approach this next game.
Yeah, that's something they may need to consider as well. But in all things considered, in here, the PCS2 APAC tournament itself is not just a 1-day tournament or 2-day tournament here. We're going to be playing through the course of 3 weeks as well. And a total of, if I'm not mistaken, 20 matches in total. And 20 maps here. The first few maps, okay, maybe the first 8 map, you can kind of throw and figure out, just get a couple of great placements here. But after the 8 maps onward, everything is full try hard. Everything is, you cannot afford to make mistakes to actually stand a chance of taking the huge chunk of the 200,000 US dollars prize pool there. And on top of that, right now, the teams that are in a very, very comfortable position, not too safe yet, it's going to be the top 4, because if you think about it, Day Trade Gaming, BAE, Divine Esports, all these guys, their scores are not that huge of a difference. We saw the huge stomp, a huge lead coming from Day Trade Gaming, but even so, BAE is only barely like 9 points, 8 points away from shying from them, and one bad game from Day Trade Gaming and one really good game from BAE. That's it for them. They're taking the top spot. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, here we are going to be starting off day 2 for today. Game number 1 in the maps of Miramar. Jay, what are we expecting? Are we going to see great playstyles coming in from them?
Well, I think we're probably going to see Day Trade and Battle Arena at least looking to continue on from their performances yesterday and get something a little bit more going here. Now, despite them being in the lead by a little bit compared to some of the Chasing Pack, they're not that far off. Relatively speaking, these teams have been performing in different games. You know, we haven't seen anyone really come out with super consistent performances across each of the games, except for maybe Fury Australia. They've never finished outside the top 5, and they've always been able to garner a few kills, and that's why they're in that 4th position. But everyone else, you know, they've been having lopsided games, and it's really going to come down to who can really make sure that they turn up today. But I think Battle Arena leads, definitely their confidence has got to be brimming here right at the start.
Well, seeing how the flight path is going to be going as well, I smell something fishy here, Jay, because apparently Victim and BAE ended things off with a couple of rivalry and contestment down towards Milta, and it seems to be on the flight path as well. We did see Victim dropping pretty close to BAE, but before we talk a little bit more about that here, we can see AP getting chased down by XS, and he's going to get run over here. Roadkill, and CJ18 might be the first one to fall.
Oh, yeah, and that's exactly not what Archangel Predator wanted to have happen here to start things off. And it looks like X Stadium, again, is going to be reprising the rivalries with the teams here on Miramar. And don't forget, they had their massive game there. But look at this zone here. It's going to be all the way on the south side. And I think this is going to be quite challenging for a number of the teams. It's really just going to be a lot of hilly terrain and unplayable area. But yeah, looking at our top killers so far, Fanatica leading the way there with the 8 kills here. But of course, this is on Miramar, where Day Trade, as you can see, they occupy 3 out of the top 5 spots here after really just fragging out against the competition.
You know, look at this here, right? On the right side of the screen, we did see BAE securing only 1 point in the map of Miramar, and they were top 2. That's how horrible they were playing in the map of Miramar yesterday. Their first 2 games is completely non-existent, and they set the tempo in Game 3, Game 4 in the map Verningill. And this tells me, like, yeah, anything can happen. Okay, so it's all about consistency. But so far, none of these teams has been consistently fragging out and not fragging at the same time. So this is going to be a really tough one here, and for them to keep pulling the lead, BAE, Day Trade, Divine Esports, Fury, these guys, they got to step it up. BRU as well, because the bottom pack is not too far away. And from the perspective of Fury here, we do see Lost Leona's drop coming from them, and they are going to be playing the safe drop once again. BAE dropping an El Pozo, no surprises there. They've always been in talking about teams getting gatekeep, they might be the ones that are going to be getting gatekeep from this circle, which is kind of far away from them as well.
Yeah, I think I mean, this circle's a bit further than the one that we saw yesterday, where they had problems getting in for match number 1. But I think that, you know, these guys, they would have gone back and you know, thought how they want to try and streamline these things a little bit more, because now everyone has got a little bit more flavor as to what everyone else in this competition is doing, so they can try and tailor and tweak their rotation timings and paths as well. So I think for them, most likely that we're going to see them go down by Valle del Mar, and they're going to try and circumvent as much of the teams as possible, given the current flight path that we do see coming out from them. So yeah, they do have Victim Rise a little bit close. As you did mention, they had a little bit of rivalries yesterday, and that was in match number 4, where they kind of dropped into Milta, and that's BAE territory right there. And yeah, Victim Rise not getting the memo. We'll see whether they're going to be a sticking point here in this game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see if they're going to be gatekeeping and all. However, MSC, a little bit of a small accident there. Not too shabby. It's going to be A-OK, going to be picked up for now. Nobody's in the vicinity. Very fortunate for them. However, here's going to be some more stats for you here. We did see huge rounds from Fnatica coming from Day Trade Gaming with a lot of insane nade kills, especially dropping the 20 bombs coming in towards game 2 from Miramar itself. And I'm looking forward to see if they can be stepping up as well, because Day Trade Gaming, they are one of the masters of Miramar coming towards this tournament itself. They've proven themselves yesterday, but can they keep it up this game? However, you can see this is going to be more damage stats for you guys. We can see Day Trade Gaming Norin's one of the highest damage throughout the entire tournament itself. 5,591 damage. The total coming from the map of Miramar. BRU got me out on the 2nd place here. Flute from BAE, 3rd place here. Highest damage throughout all 4 games as well, with 5,087. Fury, Joxy on the 4th place here with 4,704 damage in total.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to have to see whether Norin's here, he's going to be providing the bulk of the damage. Of course, to get a little bit more consistency, just generally, we would expect to see more even contributions from everyone. But I do believe in that monstrous game there that Day Trade had in day number 1, match number 2. It definitely was a case of everyone pulling their weight. Everyone managed to get in on the action. Fnatica had a couple great nades there to really seal things out. Flash was able to take down Fury quite decisively on his own. And yeah, everyone just really chipping in for quite the overall performance here. But Momonji, he's actually going to be going past Kaiser Tuna. They're going to actually unleash a little bit here and close this avenue. And Archangel Predator, they don't want to really try and lose another player so early on here in this game. They have suffered only loss so far, and they're going to try and hold up in the compound. A little bit further down the road, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to protect their vehicle too well, but it is already smoking here, so it might not be worth saving.
Yeah, this is not a great run here coming from Archangel Predator. They've lost CJ rather early as well, and now on top of that, only 6 minutes of the game, there's still 16 teams left alive, losing a vehicle early this stage here. This is not going to be helpful in their rotations. And on top of that, looking for vehicles in the later stage is extremely difficult here. Maybe in your pub games, it's extremely easy to find vehicles, but on a pro game, especially on this scale, you're going to be expecting every single one having a vehicle themselves. So looking for one on the roadside, expecting that, hey, there's going to be cars around here, not going to happen. However, we do see long-range shots here coming in from on the screen as well. So they are going to be trying to get a couple of utilities worn out, but that should be all in this kind of long-range skirmishes here, Jay.
Yeah, and I think everyone is just kind of settling in here, but they're going to definitely be opening up onto the rotations happening. Loki's here taking a little bit of fire there from Chimoy, but should be okay. There's not a lot of guns to bear there from the Victim Rise team altogether, as only one really having any sight. But looks like the ambush is coming up here, and they're going to be able to pick off Loki's here. And wow, I didn't realize that all the Victim Rise players are going to be a bit further down the road in this way, and that's Battle Arena Elites. They're going to be losing out early on here, but that's going to be enabling the rest of Battle Arena Elites to try and circumvent this by going up on that higher ground towards the west.
Well, seems to me the rivalry has begun. I did call this out here. There's going to be a rivalry between BAE and Victim here. They tried once, they failed yesterday. This time, they succeed here coming from Victim. It seems to me they're just going to be picking on the boys from BAE. Just want to test their contestment here and taking down Loki's right off the bat, who with an insane clutch yesterday. This is not looking good for the boys in BAE. Victim, that's going to be some really annoying move, but it gets the job done. They secured themselves 1 kill point, but can they survive this? Because that roadblock setting, they dodged the first one from BAE, but guess what? They were riding along the entire road themselves, and BAE, I'm pretty sure they would have anticipated this, but well, you only lose one. That's why you gotta send a scout. You know, so with 3 guys, it's gonna be okay. But the circle is gonna be pushing towards Los Leones one again. Not the greatest start for BAE again.
Yeah, that's a little bit on the unfortunate side here, but better one than the entire team here. And things are going to be stretched a little bit more towards the eastern side, and we could be seeing a very similar circle to what we saw yesterday, which is completely enveloping Los Leones for now. Currently not going to be quite central enough, but unless teams really want to try to test their luck going into the town, they're going to be sandwiched here. But Astra is starting to move in here onto Buriram United here on the corner of Los Leones. Eddie trying to see what he can do. He still only has 2 players who are still on the way here. He's going to be able to land quite a few connections here onto Astra, but he's getting shot from the other direction. Konaxi going to be able to get out here. Going to try and get the flanking shots here. Going to finish off Extreme. But now we're seeing that Nikos is still trying to get the kill on 3 of them up. But Buriram United against the ropes here. Eddie with only 20 HP. He's the last hope and he's going to get extinguished. Astra going to be able to claim 3 kills there, but at what cost? 2 players going to be going down early.
You know, there was a really, really costly flight here from Astra, but before that here, the fight just began. BRU is down for the count. Star is still in the vicinity, but to clean house here is going to be none other than Fury. They've heard the gunshots. They know they're weak. They picked them off, and now the last man standing is going to be taking a run for it here. Zoid is going to get scouted out here. Will Fury spot him out? They know there's movements coming in. They're checking every inch of the warehouse, and Zoid is going to be last man standing. He's out in the open. He's making a run for it, and he's going to try and live to tell another day. But that's going to be an unfortunate clash here coming from Star just because of how it went down here. If you think about it, Buriram, they were taking that fight here. Yeah, they were in the disadvantage here, but Star, they ran into one of their members themselves, and they had a knock in, and because of that, they were 1 man down, which left into 2 guys winning that fight. And guess what? The one to finish them off is none other than KT. That was not a great run for both Star and BRU at all here, Jay.
Oh, definitely not. But now it looks like Divine moving in here onto day trade. Puchis going down, and a turtle is going to be traded as well. But now they're going to be a little bit further back here. Not going to be able to save Flash either, I feel. Now Divine, they could pack the numbers here and continue to apply the pressure. Currently, the last 2 players up for day trade, Norians and Vanotica, gonna still be in separate buildings and not gonna be able to break in there anytime soon. In the meantime, we see that Cerberus is actually weighing in on the fight here against Fury Australia. But see if that is going to happen too much, because you can see the treacherous nature of hanging around the periphery here of Los Leones as teams are starting to sandwich in. They don't want to go into the town itself, so they are actually going to be fighting for all these buildings on the periphery, which, yeah, more often than not, these teams are not going to have as much experience as compared to, say, some of the other prime locations which teams might use for early rotations and the like.
Seems to be things have taken a change here, because it seems to be Divine Esports, they are going to be taking a step forward here. They have made themselves into as a top 3 position by the end of day 1, but today they might be the team to actually try and outperform the rest here, because day trade is kind of weak right now. BAE is down to the 3-man here with so many teams left alive, and seeing how the circle is, Divine Esports, they are in a really, really comfortable position to set up a really nice strategical a roadblock here for any teams try to swing a little bit far off down south and then swinging from the western side of the road here. But at the same time, they may consider getting better positioning by rotating into the center of the circle itself. But whether or not it's going to happen, let's see here. Victim, let's take a look about them here. They've got a couple of mockery fights here, but after that, they have been laying low for quite some time now.
Yeah, and they got quite a bit of a transition to go. They're all the way here on that southern side, and it's really all completely packed up north as Kaiser Tuna, Day Trade, and Divine are all going to be impeding their progress should they go for a more direct route here. And it's going to be more difficult for these teams to really try and secure a more central spot without going into Los Leones. And that might be the name of the game here. You might see that coming out from Game Home all the way on that northern side. Division X is coming in from that eastern edge as well. Cerberus here, they're going to be looking to gatekeep MSC Therathon a little bit more, who really just can't find an easy way through. But Janku, though, is going to be able to find the Cerberus player here first. And that's Subang, who's going to get all the way down into the red, but luckily for him, he's going to be able to pull off the heal.
It seems to me there's going to be a trend here because the best team coming from Thailand, coming in from the qualifiers, and the best team from Vietnam is actually going head to head right now. Cerberus and MSC taking a pit stop here, probably getting a couple fights in, but still only utilities being worn out here from the side of Cerberus Esports, but still nothing too shabby. But they do know that it's going to be enemy territories within the next few circles here. However, KT, we do see a couple of accidents here, but he's going to be A-okay. He's going to be picked up. So nothing too much, but it's going to leave his vehicle exposed out in the open here. So this is going to buy time for the rest of the teams to actually rotate in. But MSC, they're taking precautions here. 54 seconds before the clock comes in, they are taking step by step, checking every corner, making sure that nobody kind of messes up their vehicle as soon as they rotate in. However, the guys from Victim, they do hear this coming from MSC. Seems to me, do they want to take fire here?
Yeah, so MSC, they have managed to actually circumvent a potential hazard here in the form of Kamals, but again, he's a bit outnumbered, so not really looking for the fight here. Magic Esports starting to move into Los Leones, whereas From the Future is getting on the rough edge of fighting against Fury here. Ronan going to be able to knock the player down, but From the Future is safe enough for the time being. Now, they're going to be all the way here in that same warehouse. I do believe that we did see the likes of BRU, but now we're seeing that X Stadium here is going to be in a bit of trouble as Magic Esports is going to invade this compound, and yeah, being stretched a bit too thin here on that southwestern corner is not really going to do them any good. And now Circle is going to be shifting, and it's moving away from Los Leones, and thankfully for most of the teams, because I'm pretty sure none of them really want to have to roll the dice in that situation.
Yeah, pretty sure they did not expect that here coming from XS here. Considering that there's so many buildings in Los Leones, the odds of actually clashing to another team is pretty low. But as soon as you see the circle closing in, yeah, that kind of limits to how many buildings is kind of in the vicinity here. And XS just unfortunately here, they got a bit greedy. They want to expand their control and vision control by taking multiple buildings here. Just unfortunate for XS, they ran into Magic Esports, was secured just like that. However, Taser Tuna, Moonsate getting a nice knock there. And that's going to be MSC pretty much taking out from at least multiple angles here. Victim going to go for the steal kill as well. Feels bad for Taser Tuna. But that is going to be Victim's points in their favor here. But they are going to be tanking the zone here. Seymour Camels is knocked for the count. Seymour looking for more picks here. And seems to me Victim will go down. Jenk, you will take down Camels in this fight as well. And Victim, they get themselves 4 kills.
Yeah, it's looking like a bit of a meat grinder here on the southern side as all 3 teams of Victim Rise, MSC Theathon and Kaiser Tune are all tanking quite a bit of damage. Daytrade, they've been quite silent here, and rightly so, with only the 2 players that they have available. This is not really going to be such a workable situation, but it looks like they're trying to see if they can land some of these final shots there onto that lone MSC Theathon player. He's going to really just be running the gauntlet, see whether or not he can secure a spot right in the center. But now Cerberus, they're all here with 4 players left standing, so this could be something that they can work with. They've shown that they do need to have squad numbers to get that. Now Game Home, they're going to be in trouble here. They're going to have to fight off the pressure coming in here from X Stadium. They got a 2v1, but there's still 2 more players coming in from that northern side, as he just needs to hold off for a little bit here. Goktan might get shot in the back here if he's not too careful.
Yep, XS, they gotta be careful here. This is not the guys they're aiming for here. They thought Magic Esports gonna be pushing towards this vicinity, but guess what? They ran into another team. However, Magic Esports gonna be going head-to-head against DXG here. And seeing how DXG is going to be clumped up here, they are on the other end of the departments. Fortunately for them, they are still inside the circles. They have a lot of time to work with here, but rotating out of this fight is going to be extremely hard. But it seems to me, XS, they are going to go and chase the isolated player of Game Home Esports. And it seems to me Molly's has been tossed here coming in from Game Home. That's going to do significant amount of damage, and XS, they are choked in, and the rest of the teams from Game Home are going to be going for the surroundment here, and XS, they're in some trouble. Nades are being popped out as well. Oh, a little bit unfortunate there coming from Game Home. Bounce off the ball. Yutan is going to go for the push here. The nade does clip him by half HP. He's forced to heal himself up, but there's just a lot of nades coming in, and Gokta, he's going to get burned alive, and that's pretty much him. No, he survives. Oh, wow. What HP? And he's survives for now, but he's still tanking the mollies here. But nades are getting rained down as well. They're forcing so much utilities coming out Game Home, and XS, they're still surviving this here. And he goes for the knock. This is not going to be looking good here, but eventually he will go down. Game home to one expense, taking down one member, and now they're going to lose one. J-Can getting the nice knock is all up to him. 1v2 situation. They've got 2 knocks, and XS, you're gonna go for the push here. His flashes are coming in. He's pro'd up. He needs to heal up here. Game Home Esports, they want to reset this fight. Is this a wise choice? Because as of now, the circle is going to be pushing them in a bit. 25 seconds left on the clock. J-Can, he may consider just bailing this fight here because Game Home, they're busy picking their teammates up. But it seems to me he wants to go for the kill points. He's going for the push as well. XS, can he see him? He sees him. He's super low, but he's looking the wrong angle. Sylvie will shoot him down, and he's so low. Eventually gets scouted out, and he will go down. Oh my goodness.
Oh, extreme game of hide and seek ends in tears here for X Stadium, and they're going to be eliminated here from this fight and not going to be having a very good start to the day like they did in day number 1. But now things are getting a little bit more heated as everyone's trying to get out. Lost Leonis Division, X Gaming running away from this one here. They're going to be tanking a little bit of damage here, but will be able to get out in time. But oh no, this MA who's going to be able to mow him down together with the rest of Magic Esports. They're going to be able to catch the players there. Now Division X still has 2 more players in another Murado, but they're also taking quite a bit of damage from all sides here. Divine Esports is going to be weighing in on this. They're still going to be the last player of MSC Theathon, and look at the vantage point that the players from the future are going to be having. All they do is need to pop out of that southern side of the warehouse, and they're going to be able to get 2 juicy targets there as Division X Gaming. I'm not really sure about their spot here. They probably will have to blow up the Murado if they want to have some solid cover.
Yeah, it's one of the choke spots as well, but at the same time, BAE, they finally made through us the northern section of the circle themselves here. They do get a couple kills here despite losing Lokis. Can they keep themselves up here? But as of now, they are going to be engaging to wrap out the guys down towards north here. However, MSC now going to be taking a couple of fights here. Sophia did knock out Killa here, and he's going to go down for a count. MSC is going to get rushed in, and that's going to be him down as well. It's pretty much blinded from the flash. Beautiful stuff here coming from Division X Gaming. Unfortunately for them, they won't find this shelter, but unfortunately to say, they have one angle completely exposed. Despite having the smoke here, we do see preemptive fires through the smoke. It's going to be being dodged out, and guess what? Fury does knock towards Imuma.
Yeah, and Divine, yeah, they only need to spam a little bit more and they should be able to get the targets, but they've stopped for now. But looks like Magic Esports, they're gonna be corralled inside the zone here. They got no choice to run out in the open here. Fury Australia not able to capitalize just yet, as there's still gonna be Box still out there in the blue, tanking the damage, but it's how much more can he sustain? Doesn't look like it's gonna be much at all, and he still had from the future to worry about in front of him. It's not like it was going to be all clear sailing, but now Battle Arena Elites, they're going to have Game Home right on their doorstep. They're going to have to repel against this Neferhor, currently lying prone on flank watch here. It's going to start tossing out utility as they're looking to see, can they clear this out? Now, it does look like Sophia moving in from the side here. See whether he can come out on the top and land the shots there. Right now, they're trying to push along the left side here, but it's going to be absolutely closed down, and this is going to narrow the angles available here, but looks like Clory's here. He's going to capitalize. He's taking down Sophia, and now it's a 2v2.
Yep, that's going to be a great hit here from BAE, but at the same time, overextension coming from Sophia is going to cost them as well, and because of that, they are forced to back up. Therefore, got a couple of huge tags here, but they were pretty exposed from multiple angles, so that's going to be a risky play, but that's not looking good for them. However, they have to rotate in a circle here. Flute will get a couple of knocks into a Sylphie. They will find off Game Home eventually, but is it worth it here? We are down towards the last 10 teams, 27 alive. Victim finally making their way to set a mark here. They're going to go head-to-head with the Vietnamese Titans here. Cerberus Esports going to be taking some fire here, but Haisaki gets knocked from Chibirit, and that's going to be a great start for Victim here because today, they're performing. They've got 6 kills. They've lost 1, and they somehow managed to survive this circle. But can they cut this way through? Yes, they will. GenForce will find another here. That's going to be the 7th kill. Will they secure it? And nope, Susubang will knock towards Seymour here. So it's still pretty 50-50 as of now. BAE will crash onto FTF, therefore will destroy Ted Iron. That's going to be another kill towards the guys for BAE here, Jay.
Oh yeah, and now they're really trying to repel the rest of the players here from the future. Oh, looks like Neferhor is going to eat a big fat one there, and now there's more nades coming out here. I'm not sure what Flood can do here to get out from this one. He's got so little HP to work with, and Awakarin here is running in here, but Flood is going to be able to take advantage of that audacity coming out there from the Indonesian player, and now from the future, they had a decent chance to really just close things out, but Flood is going to absolutely punish them.
Dude, that was insane of Flood because this nades coming in, this cover from this car is just insane. He got the knock. As soon as nade come in, the car kind of just like bounced off and just protected him on the other end. He was like, okay, I'm gonna have some more cover, but at the same time, he lives for now. But to what extent? He's surrounded by multiple teams here because as of now, Divine Esports, they're taking a page off BAE from Miramar, from Aaron Gibb himself. They've spread out, they've controlled the western side of the map. They have so much vision control, but as of now, temporarily, he's gonna survive for Flood. But the rest of the teams here, like Fury, CES, KT, Day Trade, they're all outside the circle, and it's just unfortunate to see them because they have to fight this open fields, and there's not a lot of cover to work with. A couple of shelters coming in, but that's about it. But Division X, they're taking a fight down south here, hoping to finish up kills here. Somehow won't get himself 2 kills, and they will rack a little bit kill points, but is it going to be enough? Divine Esports laying low for quite some time. They've got 3 kills, and they know Flood is in the vicinity, and I know he wants to get those kills here, Jay.
Oh, absolutely. As Divine are looking to continue this search, remember they did win the last game of yesterday, and they'll be looking to start today with the same level of prowess here. But now it looks like Fury Australia coming up over the top. They're going to absolutely slap down Nandu, and that's from the future out of this game here. And it looks like they're going to renew rivalries here with Divine Esports, as currently there's still going to be a lot of scattered teams here on that southern side. As you said, moving across these open fields here, and open it is. Jen here is going to be able to take down Norins, and now there's only going to be Vanotica left here for Day Trade. Not a lot that he can do, but it looks like Kaiser Tuna is also going to be in bad shape, only having 1 player left, if I'm not mistaken. But now Division X Gaming, they've been in this shack for so long here. Sapao finally taken down, only 1 player left standing, and look at Fury Australia, they're so close. If they got a few bit more of utility, they're going to really punish the last surviving Vietnamese player.
Yo, guess what? Yukika Mu Kao is actually playing in Fury here. I did see a couple of plays coming from them back in the days. He was stomping his way through. Yesterday, he was really not popping out, but today he stepped back up and he's doing a lot of work for Fury, and this might be a great game for Fury to actually take a chicken, but can they keep them up? Day Trade Gaming, unfortunately to say, Vanotica is going to be the last man standing, gets a headshot with the SKS, his HP is pretty much low, surprised he went back for the repick, is going to go down, and that's going to be more points towards Cerberus Esports. 6 teams left, who is still alive, and guess what? BAE is still alive. Flood is stuck in a tough spot right now. He's sandwiched between Divine Esports and also Fury, and that's the perfect cover just because of how both teams cannot push Flood. They're taking jabs at each other, and temporarily for now, he's at his safest moments. He's going to get a little bit more placement points if he could here, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, we got 4 solo squad members here, and they're going to be right in the middle of this battlefield that is being set up here by Divine Esports and Fury Australia. Currently, Basil getting spotted out here by the Levi's, but doesn't really need to rotate out from this spot. They're going to try and use the terrain advantage as much as possible. And actually, they have a little bit of breathing room considering everyone else is going to be a little bit more scattered. And Fury Australia, they're just in this precarious spot. I think they run out of utility. They're not able to take down the last player there from Division X, and really just trying to avoid sustaining too much damage. Ronan with the jump kill there is going to be able to claim the 9th there for Fury Australia. This is by far their most prolific game in terms of sheer number of kills.
Dude, there was some insane picks coming from Division X Gaming right there, because that was unreal. That was insane. As soon as he got tagged, goes in for flick, but unfortunately, he was only the solo man here. But top 4, BAE somehow still survives this, despite how bad the game went for them. They're in top 3 right now. How? Flood! He's surviving this. His 5th kill. He's got 5 kills. He's got 3 kills on his own. BAE's got a total of 5. We're down to the final top 3 teams, and is still surviving. Flood is looking to pick a fight against Fury. Divine Esports and Fury, they're stuck between each other, and Flood is like, I don't know what's gonna be happening to me because right now I'm in the worst possible situation. Divine Esports will get a finish onto his Ronin here, and this is not looking good for Fury. Divine Esports, they're looking to close out the game as of now, and Flood, he's marking his crosshairs towards Fury. You know what? Let's tag team with Divine Esports. We kill Fury, boom, I get top 2. But at the same time here, if he tags team with Fury, let's kill Divine Esports, and they got the top 2. But Flood, he's getting ambushed as well. 2 minutes 30 seconds left. Look at the nades coming in from Divine Esports and the circle on his backs. Can he heal in time? But it seems to me he's pretty much in a choke spot. Flood is gonna get spotted out as well. He's tanking the zone, and Flood will eventually bow out at top 3. Now it's gonna be 2v4, and the nade comes in, and just like that, Divine Esports eventually takes the chicken dinner, and they will be in the top spot potentially here, Jay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 2 wins in a row there for Divine. They're looking good, and they're really going to be resurgent against the rest of the competition here. But Fury Australia, they're definitely going to be fancying their chances as well. But of course, I'm probably going to be scoring a little bit less points in that game just because of the overall placement and how things resulted towards the end. But Flood, man, incredible stuff that he was able to survive, and it was all 3 other solo squad members in that game that were going to get eliminated here. So who would have thought of that one? But it's absolute carnage there, but very measured approaches coming out from our last 2 teams there, as Divine Esports, Fury Australia really controlling the space around them. And yeah, there's not a lot of that the other teams could have done. And I think considering that there were all these landmines, you know, you always have these players lying prone or hiding here and there. Successfully navigating through that definitely was key to getting those strong results in the end.
Yeah, definitely here. And I like how Divine Esports has taken a change in their pace as well. Just because of how yesterday's in-game map, they did cut a couple of really aggressive plays here. But in their placements here, there was not a lot of noticeable ones that we've seen from game number 4. But today we did see they are playing very similarly to BAE as well. They took early on, they spread out map control. I think by circle 4, circle 5, they spread it out. Their map control just to get a little bit more information and mobility here. And by that, they were like, you know what? We dominate the northwest section of the circle. We know there's no people here. We're pushing them aside. And as soon as they went in, everyone was kind of clustered into a couple of engagements here. We saw that DAE fight against the guys in Game Home. Because of that fight, they were taking casualties. And Game Home was taking another fight with another one as well. From the Future was also clumped up in that situation. And because of that, they were taking so much casualties, and that's going to be them leading the win eventually here. So Divine Esports is going to be playing tempo game, but without a doubt, they definitely deserve the chicken dinner. 9 kill points, 19 points. That's going to be the score for them for today. Fury will take the second place here with 15 points at 9 kills. BAE, despite the top 3 finish, but beautiful stuff coming from him, and he's going to secure himself 10 points here, Jay.
Absolutely, and definitely going to be keeping pace at the top of the table. And let's not forget, of course, Day Trade, they only managed to get 3 points from this game, so they're really letting everyone else eat into their lead, or maybe even go above them in the standings. Cerberus, of course, did manage to get 9 kills. We did see a much more promising performance from them. They did face problems against Victim Rise in that southern side, so that's something that tied them up a little bit here, who they themselves actually did manage to get that 6th position with 6 points as well. Game Home, much better from them as well with the 7 points. Definitely like to see a little bit more from them, but it looked a bit hectic against X Stadium, I would dare say. And yeah, that's something that we'll see how they are going to continue to grow into the tournament, as of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is only round number 5. There's still going to be 19 more rounds to play over 5 days, so we're going to be looking forward to all the action that is still yet to come. And we'll be taking a short break, and we'll be having our second and final round of Miramar for today after that.
Update 8.2 has just arrived, and we've got plenty for you, including a new crate weapon, new throwable, cosmetic updates for a couple of weapons, and more. Let's dive in. First up, there's a new machine gun spawning exclusively in Germany. The MG3 is a 75-round LMG that uses 7.62 ammunition. It can be set to fire at 2 different speeds. Take down your enemies with a bit more control at 660 RPM, or show them the true meaning of bullet hell by switching to the weapon's 990 RPM setting. In addition, every 5th round and the last 10 rounds of your magazine will be tracer shots. giving you a bit more visual information on where your shots are headed. The MG3 also does increased damage to
Duncan's
vehicles
M4?
and features a bipod for significantly increased control while prone. For now, you can only find the MG3 in normal mode, but we'll keep you updated when we plan to introduce them into ranked mode. Up next is a new way to distract and disorient your opponents. The decoy grenade is a new throwable that mimics gunfire sounds
PUBG's
for 10
latest
seconds.
feature. A
The
heavily armored
deceptive
loot
decoy
truck
can be
carrying a
used in a
treasure trove
variety
of
of
gear for
ways,
those persistent
including
enough to
flushing
take it
enemies
down.
out of cover,
But where can
covering
you
your
find these
advance,
trucks? What
or
loot do
getting
they
enemies
offer?
to turn
How do
away
you
before
stop
you
them?
begin your sprint.
Loot trucks spawn
The decoy
exclusively
grenade
on
spawns
Sanhok
as
and
rare
originate
world
from one of
loot
several garages
exclusively on
located around
Sanhok,
the island.
and will only be
When
in
the match
normal
starts,
games
up
for
to
the
4
time
of these
being.
garages
The
will
Car
release a truck,
98K,
which travels
SKS,
roads around
and
the island until
M416
taken down by
have all
players.
received a cosmetic
Up to
update
4
this
trucks
patch.
will roam the island
All
at a
3
time.
weapons have been
And another
remodeled
will
from
be
scratch
spawned
for
each time
higher
one is
visual
destroyed,
fidelity,
up to a
along with a
maximum of
sound
8
quality
total trucks
improvement
per
to match.
These
We've
heavily
updated
armored
helmet slots
behemoths
to allow you
require
to
a large
choose what
assault
you
to
see
take
while
down,
playing.
and will push
By
anything
toggling-
in their path out of the way. They can even resist the force of other vehicles running into them. In fact, the only way to stop a loot truck's movement is by deploying spike strips, though even then the pause is only temporary. Still, a stationary target is easier to hit than a moving one. Loot trucks take decreased damage due to their heavy armor, but they do have some vulnerabilities. Attacking the trucks from the sides will deal increased damage, and explosive weapons such as the Panzerfaust, which now spawns in Sanhok, pack a heavy punch against these trucks as well. As the trucks take damage, they'll drop containers of loot, and give even more once destroyed completely. This loot can contain level 3 gear, and weapons already kitted out with attachments. There are even 4 specially skinned weapons from a historic moment in Sanhok's past. One quick note, loot truck explosions are no minor thing, so make sure you give them some room when they finally go boom. Every shot fired is a signal to enemy teams, so you'll need tactics, persistence, and speed to take them down and safely loot their treasures. These trucks often travel through the reworked towns of the island, so start here if you want a little more cover while you take them down. Loot trucks are spawning now on Sanhok, so grab your team, some explosives, and a lot of ammo, and drop in today.
Update 8.2 has just arrived, and we've got plenty for you, including a new crate weapon, new throwable, cosmetic updates for a couple of weapons, and more. Let's dive in. First up, there's a new machine gun in town, spawning exclusively in care packages. The MG3 is a 75-round LMG that uses 7.62 ammunition, and can be set to fire at 2 different speeds. Take down your enemies with a bit more control at 660 RPM, or show them the true meaning of bullet hell by switching to the weapon's 990 RPM setting. In addition, every 5th round and the last 10 rounds of your magazine will be tracer shots, giving you a bit more visual information on where your shots are headed. The MG3 also does increased damage to vehicles and features a bipod for significantly increased control while prone. For now, you can only find the MG3 in normal matches, but we'll keep you updated when we plan to introduce them into ranked mode. Up next is a new way to distract and disorient your opponents. The decoy grenade is a new throwable that mimics gunfire sounds for 10 seconds. The deceptive decoy can be used in a variety of ways, including flushing enemies out of cover, covering your advance, or getting enemies to turn away before you begin your spray. The decoy grenade spawns as rare world loot, exclusively on Sanhok, and will only be in normal games for the time being. The Car 98K, SKS, and M416 have all received a cosmetic update this patch. All 3 weapons have been remodeled from scratch for higher visual fidelity, along with a sound quality improvement to match. We've updated helmet slots to allow you to choose what you see while playing. By toggling your helmet off, you'll keep your cosmetic hat or hoodie visible, but be aware that this toggle is only visible to you. Enemies and teammates will still see you wearing your helmet. Players feeling a little nostalgic can now swap out their lobby music to one of several different options from over the years. You'll be reset back to the default music each new season, but you can feel free to switch it up whenever you like. For players who have been eager to battle it out against a group of friends, we've added Team Deathmatch to custom game settings. Grab some friends or members of your community and see who comes out on top. One last thing. The esports menu has been updated with the Pcs2 Pickup Challenge. Like before, you can participate in the fun by making your own predictions for the chance to win some great PCS2 skins. Check out our patch notes for the full schedule. That wraps up this patch report, but there's plenty more details on what Update 8.2 brings. You can check out our patch notes for everything new, or just jump in and play for yourself. We'll see you next time.
Behold, the beautiful island of Sanhok. This cap of land is home to lush vegetation, rustic communities, and plenty of sights for the eager tourist to take in. Here's one now, blazing up the trails on the sturdy and reliable Tukshai. Just look at him go. But Sanhok wasn't always the pinnacle of Battlegrounds locales. Just like everywhere else, it had to evolve and grow to stay relevant as Battlegrounds rules evolved for a more exciting match. From the hidden bunkers and war-torn fields of Erangel, to the A la Muerte Vamos racetrack on Miramar. From Vikendi's Dino Land and Frozen Lakes, to Black Zones of Karakin. There's a variety of Battlegrounds for everyone to enjoy. Some even have their own special features. Pick up the Panzerfaust and sticky bombs to blow some holes in destructible walls on Karakin. Ooh, watch out for that backblast. The motor glider on Erangel and Miramar lets contestants soar to new heights. Be sure to pick up the Mosin Nagant on Vikendi before you board the top-of-the-line locomotive. Convenient vending machines drop boost items on Miramar, and if you're quick enough, you can drive the Golden Murano. What a beauty! Just don't blow those tires running over a spike strip. Some folks remember a time before grabbing onto ledges was permitted in the official rules. A contestant fleeing the blue zone would leap for a ledge, only to remember it was an illegal action. Ooh, that's gotta sting! Luckily, vaulting and ledge grabbing were eventually made legal, and the Battlegrounds match excitement increased significantly. Weapons especially have been upgraded time and time again to keep matches fresh and fun. Let's check in with these two contestants. Say that, which firearms are you fellas using? Well, those are fine weapons, but you're not making the most of them. Here, try this stock for your M16, and this red dot for your micro Uzi. We've made attachments easy to equip, so now they can slot automatically when you loot them. You can even quick swap them to new weapons you pick up. Gee, thanks, mister. Now you two run along and kill each other. Those two could have used some more time on Camp Jackal, our prestigious training area, to learn how to properly use weapons and attachments, not to mention all other facets of the Battlegrounds. For those who prefer to practice on live targets, arcade mode gives you a different way to play, including the fan-favorite Team Deathmatch. Communication.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the PCS2 APAC Showdown, as we're going to be kicking start here with match number 2 of the day pretty soon. I'm Play of the J, and he's Icy Baby 12, and we're looking forward to getting more stuck into things here as Divine Esports looking as though they're going to be the first team to be relatively consistent after getting back-to-back chicken dinners.
Yeah. On top of that, they're looking pretty strong in this tournament at the moment, right? But we have not seen dominant performance coming from Divine Esports here yet. I'm looking forward to see them completely stomping out a competition here. But as of now, they've been playing extremely strategic, and it's been working out for them here because it's not about who fights the better battles. It's all about winning the war, and Divine Esports choosing their wars, their battles extremely wisely, making sure they secure the chicken dinner with a pretty decent amount of kill volumes here. Let's take a look at whether or not are they the kill leader right now, or in this case, the top of the pack with the highest points here out after their first game themselves here. I'm pretty sure they've overtoppled overtopped BAE for sure, but I'm not sure if they've overtopped Day Trade gaming score right now. So they might have overtopped it, but at the same time, can they keep it up for the rest of the days? Because we've seen teams slowly adapting to Miramar gameplay here. Day Trade Gaming, they had a complete stopover this today. They seem to be struggling throughout the entire game itself. Like everywhere they went, there was always a couple of teams from afar picking a couple of fights here, picking off like one member from him. Day Trade, like from the start of the game, one guy dies from Day Trade. Second, third circle, another guy dies out of nowhere. Then it's all down to the last two guys, and then boom, the I think by the final few stages, it's left one guy. He's down with the last member from Day Trade, which is Nautica, and then towards the final circle, there was nothing much they could have done here, and because of that, it feels like people are adapting just based on yesterday's performance, and I'm liking what I see here coming from all these teams.
Yeah, and let's not forget Divine actually had a hand in the downfall for Day Trade. They took out two of their players early on, and that really set the tone. Now, of course, Day Trade in that 30-point game that they had yesterday, now they did have a 2-2 split to start things off and just really try and gatekeep from two separate locations around the Picado side of things, and they still managed to get a lot of work done. Let's not deny that. But yeah, unfortunately, they couldn't really get it going here. I think they were just not in an ideal position to really exact that pressure on the rest of the competition. And now we're about ready here for our second match of the day. And we'll see how these teams want to try and duke it out here on Miramar once again. It's going to actually be seeing a little bit of a difference in terms of the flight path here, as we're going to have Day Trade dropping out early here on that western side, as it's going to go all the way towards Impala.
Well, it seems to me in the Miramar map here, there's going to be total kills, top 5 players for all the players here. First place was for Nautica with 10 kills in total in Miramar. Norins will have 7 kills, and Joxy with 7 kills for himself, Ronan 6 kills, and Yukika Mu Kao stepping back in the ring. And yesterday, we didn't see too much of him, but back in the days, he was the one that actually steps up for Fury, and today in just the previous game he was getting a lot of kills there, but it's just unfortunate they just could not close out the game just because of how the positions were set out as well. Divine Esports 4v3 was not an easy task to actually overcome. However, props to us Divine Esports, because they were the chicken dinners winner and they are going to be playing this game here. But let's take a look at where the circle is going to be in. But as of now, you can see a little bit of a different drop spots here just because of the plane's flight path. But this time, the circle is going to push towards west side here. So it's going to be a difference in terms of rotation. Who's going to be the center of the circle and who's going to be outside the circle is completely different from all the teams now.
Yeah, and oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This is a code that you need to key into your game ASAP if you want to be able to get some sweet Pcs2 skins. So make sure you try and key that in as fast as you can, as it's a one-time use only. And yeah, you can expect to see more later today and for every day of the broadcast, in fact, in case you're not fast enough to get this one here. So all the best to everyone who's able to get it. I think we were saying yesterday, and I don't know if you can see during the breaks, there are some pretty sweet looking skins, so make sure that you do try and pick them up. And remember that whenever you buy some of these skins, they do contribute directly to the esports teams who are participating at PCS2 and also to the overall prize pool. So make sure you do try and support the PUBG esports scene, and yeah, otherwise do drop by on the store and you'll be able to see that. But yeah, again, just a big thanks to Predator, to PUBG Corporation, and of course this is all brought to you by Geek Events for making this show entirely possible.
Yep. And speaking of which here, the skin codes, let's talk a little bit more of that, because, you know, I know a couple of days back we actually redeemed it. The weapon skin is amazing and it's sexy. I swear, if you're making like a frag movie or frag clips, you gotta want that weapon on your screen. You know, a couple of headshots with the Car 98, mwah, sexy. But before we go in a little bit more, let's come back into the game. And you can see now from Day Trade Gaming, just only 3 minutes of the game seems to be they've switched up their play styles. They're not going to be going extremely greedy from their usual play styles just by looting extremely long here, but they are going to be rotating rather early here, 3 minutes into the game, and they're trying to make their way towards the next compound, potentially in towards the zone here.
Yeah, and they have the benefit of dropping out relatively early, so they can really get most of their looting done, and now they're just trying to fine-tune their positioning. But now you can see the current standings on the left, ladies and gentlemen. Currently, Divine Esports has managed to leapfrog both Battle Arena Elites and Day Trade, and they're going to be in that first place with 56 points, 4 points over Day Trade, and just 5 points over Battle Arena Elites. Fury Australia, they're going to be cutting the lead down as well, down to just the 8 points now. The last time it was quite a big chasm, but of course Divine Esports and both Fury Australia both getting some good games. Even Division X Gaming, they've managed to move up a placing here as Buriram United. They didn't really really have a great game number 1 to start the day, so they're going to have to really shift gears if they want to try and continue to get back into the top 5.
Well, I like this decision coming from Star as well as BAE. They're actually taking high ground control here, and on top of that, the rendering distance up on PUBG PC is slightly higher than the mobile counterpart. And because of that, taking high vantage points like this is gonna give you so much information here. Just 4 minutes of game, Sophia is gonna be the guy that leads up here, but you can see random shots are already kind of hitting to his way, and it's gonna be in some trouble. But as of now, he's all by himself. He does have the improvisation to work with. He does know that there's going to be members across the other side of the crater as well. So he's going to be backing out this fight, whereas the rest of the teams are not in the vicinity to back him out. But Sophia does have a little bit of information to work with. So 5 minutes in the game, there's already tactical positions being secured by all these teams now.
Yeah, so Battle Arena, at least just like Day Trade, they did drop out early again, El Pozo for the Malaysian team. So they are going to be having some of these early maneuvers that are going to definitely benefit them here. Sophia typically playing as the Vanguard or the Scout here for the team, and he's going to be able to gather quite a bit of information, seeing more consolidation of the power there from Astra as they're going to be getting on top of the crater as well. Looks like Magic Esports now, they're currently languishing in that 16th position. They need to get into double-digit points if they're going to really stand a chance of getting higher up the standings quite significantly. I think we've seen some overzealous plays, I would say, more than anything else, and I think that's definitely a sign that maybe they're just confident in their ability, but at the same time, maybe the situations are being misjudged and not really being able to get out the door from those particular instances.
Yep. But speaking of which, here we do see here shots coming in from Magic Esports here. They're going to try and take the jab at those guys in the mountain here. In this case, Astra was in the vicinity, and they're going to get spotted out. And that's going to be a lot of vehicle damage being done in. But are those shots that are worth it, though? Because you're going to be expending so much ammunition here. And that's going to be costly. But Godmeow do see the guys from Cerberus here. He's going to take a couple jabs in, but unfortunately he's not able to actually pop the tires here, so that's going to be unfortunate coming from Godmeow.
Yeah, not able to secure too much at that range here, but that doesn't mean that these guys can't give it a go here. But yeah, definitely if they didn't have a good initial looting phase, that's going to really hamper their efforts later on. Fury Australia just exchanging a few goodies here before they continue along the treacherous road. Let's not forget, they were all the way here on this northern side of Los Leones, so they got one of the longer journeys to go. And given that the flight path went right through this zone, there's going to be a lot of pack teams in there already. So they know that we can't really take any chances. There could be teams that are just staying put, and they have to just be a little bit mindful of that. Buriram United, they were also one of the furthest as well. El Azahar really far away for all of them, and you can already see the single fileness here going to be helping them avert some risk, because they can't afford to have a second round on Miramar in a row where they really get nothing from the game.
Yep, Tonke will get scouted out here. The guys up towards the Crater Mountains themselves here. And MSC, being one of the teams that actually pushed out BAE, they are going to back off and they're going to secure it as of now. But Fury, they do see a couple of roadblocks here, and that's going to be a dead guy here. We see taps coming in, and Fury will get one kill. Myoyu will get ran over, and this time is going to be in some trouble here. XS not going to be having the greatest start here, but Fury, nice pick off here.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're just going to continue surveying a little bit more here before they decide to loot that the corpse there from the ex-stadium player. But it does look like it's going to be relatively clear, and Ruin is going to be able to reap the benefits there. Now, everyone is more or less finished with their rotation. Battle Arena Elite's actually covering quite a bit of distance after vacating El Pozo. It does offer quite a bit more looting opportunities, but these teams are all very well versed in just being able to do a splash and dash and get whatever they need. But speaking of El Pozo, looks like it's still going to be the center of attention for all of these teams, and I think it's really going to propose a significant shift here for everyone.
This is such a scary circle to play. Just think about it, right? there's so many choke spots to actually rotate the zone, and on top of how hard it is to rotate to the Miramar, there are very limited routes that actually can go into this zone, and BAE is pretty much secure most of the high ground terrain, but at the same time, for BAE to control the northeast section of that circle, there's at least 6 to 7 teams they gotta worry about, and it's not an easy thing to do, because if one of the boys from BAE gets knocked, that's pretty much positions pretty much exposed from their end. However, let's take a look at how all these teams tackle here. You can see Star already making towards the eastern route of this circle, and they will secure this route, and they are going to be setting up roadblocks immediately here. This is going to be a lot of kill boxes coming in from all directions coming into this zone. This is quite scary, Jay.
Oh yeah, and there's a bit of Mad Max action here from the likes of Kalbs here with his best K-Mine impersonation. Not really going to yield a kill there, but so much damage done to the MSC Theathon player. He's going to be able to escape from this one. Archangel Predator, they are moving all the way around this northern road. Did come from that La Cabrera side, and might be able to, face very little opposition if they take this route. I only believe that there's going to be the likes of Division X Gaming that might be in front of them. We did see Battle Arena, at least, as you said, went to that northeastern side, but we'll probably have to see them also consolidate their position for the reasons that you mentioned. But now it does look like Division X Gaming could be here in a little bit of trouble if they're not taking this too carefully. Killa is going to be able to hear the vehicle, but he's going to be long gone, and actually going to be relaying that information to the rest of the Vietnamese players' teammates.
Yep. Speaking of which, here we are looking at the guys at Game Home and Fury as well. Fury, they're going to be setting up shop in the compound here towards the northwest section outskirts of Monte Vivo, but they are still on the outskirts. Actually, they are in the innards of the circle very soon here, where the rest of the Fury, they have to push in from southeast corner, but will they make it? That's going to be the question here, because this circle, there's not a lot of cover to work with. Monte Novo, there's a couple of compounds to work with, but they are susceptible to multiple angles coming from the mountain terrain, so they have to be extremely careful in that situations. But Buriram, they've not had a great start here, and seems to be they are playing a little bit passive this game here. No sounds whatsoever, but it looks like they will crash into his El Pozo to try and duke it out in one of the buildings here, hoping to relay or maybe even gather a couple of information to work with.
Yeah, it does look like El Pozo might be the last resort here for a lot of teams. Now, Battle Arena Elite's actually coming back down from the crater mountain, and they're actually going to be taking up residence there on that northeastern edge of the city. But we'll see if other teams are going to do the same. Cerberus here, they're going for a little bit of a later rotation. They're already tanking this blue damage, and really just want to take it nice and carefully. They didn't really have a good drop position compared to the circle, so this might be a little bit of a dicey situation. Look at how cramped it is already here inside the zone, and it's going to shift even more all the way to the southwestern side ever so much.
No.
These teams are going to be absolutely challenged here with how they want to deal with this, and you can see everyone already leaping here to try and get to a better position while everyone else is doing the same thing.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest circle to actually play here, just because of how many open fields are going to be exposed as well. We are looking at 2 to 3 choke points just because of how the mountain terrain keeps them at bay. In this case, Divine Esports has one of the best possible compounds to work with here, unless multiple teams decides to crash them here, which is not going to be happening in any unforeseen time here, just because of how unsaturated the teams are as of now, and they're struggling to find positioning. KT, they've secured a couple compounds here, but if XS decides to clash it, this is going to be a couple of freebies here. BAE immediately rotating towards the next phase of circle, trying to find a couple of nice spots to work with. XS camping in. They do hear movements coming from KT. They know there's people here, and he's all by himself. Nocturne, I don't think he wants to fight this, but on the kill feed, we see the guys of BAE getting taken down from DXG as well, and this is what I'm talking about. There's are not a lot of compounds to work with. There's just so many angles to fight, and Flood, he's gonna go for the knock. Therefore, he will knock onto his Phalanx here. Loki's will get finished off eventually. He's getting knocked there. Flood, he's looking for a nice angle. Can he go for the pick? But unfortunately, the third party's coming in. BRU will go in for the tags here, Jay.
Oh yeah, Flood here is going to be popping the smoke there on the stairs. Try and get a little bit of breathing room. Loki's is down on the ground as well, though. Now Battle Arena at least they're in a bit of trouble. Neferhor is a little bit further away to the northern side here. And there's still going to be 2 more players here from Magic Gaming. And yeah, this is a bit dicey. Division X Gaming is still shooting as well on the roadside here. And it might be a little bit treacherous for the captain to get inside the building as well. He's taken quite a bit of damage, only about 40 HP left here. But now Cerberus here in trouble. They're starting to engage close and personal with Fury Australia. Yika Kamukau is already down on all fours here as Cerberus is going to be taking 2 casualties themselves. But Fury Australia, they could be putting the final touches here. Inside going to prime the frag grenade. Not going to quite land there onto Hayasaki, and he's going to be using the container ever so much more. Zico, though, is going to get thirsted down.
Oh, what a push there from Susubang. And unfortunately, Joxy will get finished off just like that. Insane push coming from Cerberus, and that's going to be a huge one for them. But at the same time, Fury is all up to Ronan and Insight to actually make things work here. BAE, they somehow managed to buy time here coming from Flood, but Flood will get pretty much knocked out. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead, pretty much done. He bought so much time for them to pick Loki's up, but was it worth it? But right now, it's going to be a 2v2 situation here. The circle is going to force them out potentially here. They are going to be making it rain down towards the 2nd floor of this Lego building. But the nades are coming in. That's going to be a huge one there. Unfortunately, it doesn't finish them off. They're all super low, but the mollies are coming in. Do they go for the aggressive push here? But unfortunately, they will get a couple first aids in, and they will reset this fight once again here, hoping to get a couple of lucky knocks. BAE do not exactly know how many members are in there.
Yeah, I think they can guesstimate here, but at the same time, the reason for a little bit of urgency of wanting to try and settle the score here is they're not inside the zone. And given that it's shifted again all the way here to that western side, we're going to be having teams moving in the same direction as well. But now we're seeing that the teams are crashing into the compound here. It's going to be Archangel trying to take this from the future, but they are not going to be successful here. Kalps and Momonji are both going to bite the dirt here, as that was a completely unsuccessful engagement. CJ as well going to expire, and Kalb's going to be the last player left alive here. He's going to run off, and Filipino team is reduced down to 1 player. Things are getting absolutely hectic here in El Pozo. Astra going to be getting close quarters here with Bariram United, who are going to be able to finish him off, and it looks like Magic Esports is actually going to get the last laugh here against the Battle Arena Elites team.
Yep, Battle Arenas, they are struggling. Like I said, this circle is extremely hard, and they had no possible positioning at all. They had control of the mountains, but unfortunately the circle just did not favor them at all, and for them to rotate in the next phase is extremely difficult. However, the rest of the teams are still alive here. Biriram is there. He gets a couple of nice shots in, but Astra will go in for the flash. Couple of pre-fires here. Trigger finger coming for Extreme. A little bit in the moment, but still great game sense. They won't win that small engagement here, and that's going to be the round that they need here. But as of now, BAE not too happy about this round here in the map of Miramar. It's been a struggle for them, and hopefully the games to come is going to be a-okay. But as of now, we're going to be looking at the rest of the teams here in this next phase of circle. We do see Fury already making their way, and they somehow still survive this year. They hear gunshots from multiple angles, and this is what I'm talking about. So much open field, so much choke spots, and without vehicles, they're pretty much a done deal here. And hopefully Fury is going to be able to secure a couple of plays to work with here, but they do find themselves a couple of small pit stops here in this compound. But still, is it worth taking a nosedive here just because of how they are on the edge of the circle here?
Oh, yeah, and looks like it's more chaos here for Astra. They get 1 player knocked off the bike here. Konaxi is looking for 1 more to try and get one back. He manages to get the 2nd knock there. He's going to be able to get 2 points there for Bariram United as the last player. Oh, no, it's going to be Nikos that's going to get revenge there for the 2 team members that got knocked down, but there's not much that he can do as Zoidmate. He's going to be bleeding out with that blue zone damage just being a little bit too extreme as we're nearing phase 5 already. But now Killa, the last player here for Archangel, but he's got the entire squad here from Fury Australia. After that round of the world rotation, it's going to be a godsend for them as they're going to be advancing onto that high ground. And oh, look at from the future, they're going to be all under their purview pretty soon here as things are going to start transitioning into the late game.
I don't know, Jay. Like Fury, from the future taking this win is gonna be a tough one here. They have the compound to work with, but as of now, they're still on the edge of the circle. But if they've managed to clear out Fury Esports, they probably stand the biggest chance to take this round for them here, as considering that how set I would say concentrated amount of players are on towards the eastern side of the circle, just because of how the flight path went, right? But at the same time, there's not many teams who actually swung left, which I think the only team is pretty much Fury. And Fury is pretty much cleaned out everyone from the western side of the circle already here. But however, hold that thought for now, because Magic Esports is going to get rushed in by Division X Gaming, and they are going to go down for the count. But the rest of the teams, as they slowly prowl their way to this next phase of circle, we do see a team pretty much stranded in the cracks of the mountain, hoping to look for a couple of covers and try to protect as much of their vehicles before they actually go into the phase here. But they will get scouted out by God Nui here. God Nui will go in for the knock, but you can see the assist coming from Flash, making sure that they do not go down without a fight, making sure if they can try and save Norris as much as they can, they get the damage done. Glorious is pretty much down for the count. Smokes are coming in. Daytrade, they really want to save him here. Norris will get finished more eventually here. The nades are coming in, but as you can see, movements are coming in from Daytrade Gaming. They want to go in for the save, but to what avail? 1 minute on the mark. Is it going to be a right play here, Jay? Because the circle is coming in.
Well, Daytrade, I mean, this is the kind of situation that they managed to get their monstrous win yesterday, and now they're taking it against here the likes of Game Home, but it's going to be third-party action in the form of MBK and Division X Gaming going to be able to take down that other player there. But now Noreen's back on his feet here. Fanatica, though, he's coming out over the top without the assistance of his team members. I think that was a little bit too hasty here, and now the nades coming out. Oh, and it was just a flashbang. It'll look perfect there to really end Venatica's day, but luckily now his team members have managed to get his back here. They do want to try and maximize the number of players. Putra is even confident in their ability that he's actually not even helping out with this endeavor, but Game Home is starting to come up over the top here as Sylphie here trying to land the shots with the barrel. Not going to be too successful. Actually going back down the hill here. Might be getting a little bit more in the way of hard cover. Wow, this is going to be quite the ballsy res here, but it's going to be successful as Venatica going to be able to get back to safety.
Dude, I'm surprised they made it out with all 4 members, but at the same time, was it worth it here? Because they do not have much utility. They've expended so much smoke, so much nades, so much defilates to actually take this fight. And on top of that, if the circle favors them, it's going to be great. But nope, it will not. And they have to cross the crossroads where Divine Esports is already be laying their traps, laying out the camp spots. This is not looking good for the boys in Daytrade Gaming. However, another team is going to be watching out here. It's going to be the guys from Victor. We have not seen too much of them in this match, but they have been stepping up from game number 1. It seems to me they've been laying low, and they have one of the best spots in this zone right now. But they are in kind of a choke spot here, but they are taking some serious heavy fire coming from Division X here. Rise with insane shots here. 1 HP, barely makes it alive here from Genforce. Gets the knock in, and that's going to be a small win for Victor Bryce.
Yeah, Division X Gaming is seemingly waves crashing against the rocks here, not doing anything to victim Rise. And now they're actually going to see, can they apply a little bit of aggression themselves there? They already knocked down one. They're looking to try and get another one here in the form of MBK. There's only going to be one more all the way in the back. And Long K, I don't think he could do all that much from that distance here. And Chibra is looking to try and get into a better position here to seal the deal. He's going to spot out the last player here, and he's going to be able get the 4-time spray there. And what a 3-packs coming out there from the Indonesian player as they're doing the work here on that northern side.
What an insane shot there. Like the spray control immediately takes down one. Nicely done here. 9 teams left, 27 alive. MSC still surviving this year, but FTF, they're taking some suppressive fires from the western side of the circle here. But Divine Esports, like I said, they are going to be gatekeeping the eastern side here. They have been laying low for so long. Nades are coming in to hopefully blow up a vehicle here. Unfortunately, timing is just a little bit off, but they trade. You can see nades are going in as well. I'm surprised they still have the nades to work with, but Divine Esports is going to go head-to-head here as the top 2 of the leaderboard, going to be dishing it out. However, Divine Esports, look at this, they're pretty spread out here. They want to take all fight from all angles here. Is this the wise choice? But you can see they are taking a lot of shots coming in, but Divine Esports, they will knock down not for Nautica, who's left stranded all the way far back. who has the rest of the team are already in the vicinity, and they will scout it out. Nice shot there from Norris, Divine Esports. They're being picked apart from all angles. Greedy, ballsy plays lead to their downfall here, and this is going to be in some trouble because as of now, XS, they want to push it at the same time, and Divine Esports, they are pretty much sandwiched from both Day Trade as well as XS.
Oh yeah, but Day Trade, they're in trouble as well. They got pressure coming here from Genflies. He's going to take down Flash here. Puchis here, he's hanging out on that flank watch, trying to see what he can do while they're trying to desperately get their player back up here. There's not a lot of space left to work with here as things are getting even more condensed. Divine Esports applying more pressure back onto these other teams that are really trying to do a number onto the line that was presented to themselves here. But Day Trade, they're going to still try and hold the flank here ever so much more. Nurin's here, he's down. Currently Divine, they still have the numbers to work with. They spot out the last player, he's lying prone. There's not a lot that he could do. Levi's there, he's going to exact that pressure right back there. Divine up to 6 kills here in this game. They're going to have the 3 players on this high ground. Now they are not inside the zone, but from this position, they should be able to transition in pretty well, but they do have to be a little bit wary of From the Future. Now, while From the Future hasn't had the best of tournaments so far, they have got the numbers, and they have to be a little bit cautious about that northern side.
Well, Jay, I'm a little bit worried with my call outs here because it seems to me FTF, they might be the ones to do it here because they are in prime position to keep everyone entering the zone here. And on top of that, they actually won their fight against Fury, who's pretty much left only 1 member left. And Divine Esports seems to me they are going to be crashing into the next phase of the zone here. Will they actually secure a chicken dinner here because they're still relatively early? You can see taking fights are coming in. Godney will eventually get finish off here, and FTF, they will push their way into the slots here from the bottom of the pack, pushing the 11th slot here. They need a good chicken dinner, but we're down towards the last top 14. Divine Esports with 3, FTF with 3, MSC from Thailand with 2, and Fury last man standing here, Jay.
Oh yeah, Ronan, he did manage to get the knock there onto Rosita Jr., but he did get picked off, and now looks as though From the Future is looking for wait for the perfect shot here. Not having enough patience, I feel, and he's gonna be missing all of the shots there. Ronan gonna thank his lucky stars. He's gonna be sinking a little bit further down here and a little bit of a ditch here, so that's gonna help him tremendously. But yeah, the From the Future player just dropping the ball there. He just got too impatient and ants in the pants, it would seem.
How was that not a single shot? That was like the perfectly, I don't know what was shot, but still, that was supposed to be an easy shot, and it's just completely whiffed. I feel so bad, but at the same time, like I said, FTF still in prime position, but the circle, nope, no longer in prime position. They have to push downhill, but fortunately for them, they have a secondary hill down below them. But Ronan, he will pick up the guys from MSC. That's going to be easy pickings for him, and it's going to be more points for him. MSC and Fury down towards the last man standing for each of their teams here, down towards the last top 4. FTF, they are here to dictate the terms. They heard the gunshots. They want to finish with the guys in compound, but at the same time, they have to clear off the boy in Fury here because Ronan is going to be their toxin waiting to act, the venomous poison waiting to strike at the right moment as of now.
He's been an absolute thorn in the side of MSC Theathon, and he's continuing to be an absolute pest here. Nandu can't seem to land the shots here. And yeah, I think, of course, there can be nerves even at the highest of levels, but we'll see how he's going to be able to redeem himself later on. Currently, From the Future does have quite a bit of terrain coverage here. He's still trying to play whack-a-mole at the moment here with Ronan. He's going to finally land some shots there, and the blue zone damage is just so high, it immediately takes out the last remaining member from Fury Australia. We're down to our top 3 teams. It's going to be 3 players aside here for Divine and From the Future, and still 1 player left here. MSC Theathon. Teddy currently is going to be the vanguard here, right in the face of Divine. He's going to land some shots, but not enough.
Yup, FTF, they control the high grounds here. They're going to go for the push here. It's all up to them. FTF, can they apply the pressure here? Divine Esports ends in the vicinity. Turtle looking for the pick here. The pro shot will start things off. He's getting an advantage. He's going to push in stuck, and he's going to get another one. What a play from Turtle. And just like that, FTF, they will somehow bow out with last man standing here. And Divine Esports, they're looking to clean house here. And what a clutch there from Nando once again. They dropped the ball, but at the same time, he's down towards the last guy. And Divine Esports will finish him off. And MSC is down towards a 1v1. It's going to be the prime position right now. Yoshi is looking to get the chicken dinner. Can he take it away from Divine Esports, or will Divine Esports take this here? What a great moment here. This is the moment that MMC is looking for. It's going to be the 1v1. It's between the best of the best. Who's going to take it here? Nando, they get 5 kills here from side of FTF, but Divine Esports as well as Teraton here. Yoshi and the Yan. Yoshi knows he's getting pushed in. There's no way he's going to try and save his teammate here. There's no way possible. And Teraton, he knows exactly where he is, and this is not favoring Divine Esports as well. The circle is back against him. Who's going to go 1v1? Who's going to go 1v1? Both the teams playing extremely passively here, making sure he checks his angles. But you can see smokes are being lobbed in. Yoshi Minmuri, he knows what's up. Is he going to go for the bite here? Divine Esports hit gets spotted out here. Yeah, getting shot, and he's down to 75. Yoshi going for shots again. He's making it down to 50. Yoshi's going to Jiggle Ping. He goes in for a shot again as well. The pre-fire comes in. Eventually, MSC Teraton takes the chicken dinner. My J, his luck of making his decision to actually wait for the right moment. The poison lying in wait, coming into the strike like a ninja. It happened, Jay. It happened. And he got the chicken.
Oh, it did. Yoshi Minburi coming up big and striking at the perfect timing, as you mentioned. And he is going to be the bane there for Dian. Dian just not able to come out with it right at the end. But I mean, it was absolute slugfest there between From the Future and Divine. I mean, it could have gone to anyone. It looked as though it was going to be going to Divine pretty quickly there after 2 quick knocks there onto From the Future. But they managed to get 2 on back there, and it was through Dian's hard effort there that he was able to take him down. And MSC Theathon, though, that they're going to be able to claim their first win of the tournament here. So they're going to be absolutely thrilled, even if it wasn't the best of manners. A win is still a win, and points are still there on the board. They're going to be claiming that 15 points here, and this could be what they need to really climb themselves off the bottom of the table. They were in that 15th position, I do believe, at the start of this match, and this could be a little bit of a turning point. Of course, it could have been a little bit more decisive. They could have not had Ronan being a thorn in their side. He contributed to 2 of the deaths there of the MSC Theathon players as well. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but in the end, didn't matter. Yoshi Munburi able to close things out.
Yep, at the same time, so we want to talk about Divide Esports here. 3 games in a row with 2 back-to-back chickens from yesterday's Game 4 and today to start things off with chicken dinner, and now a top 2 finish. I'm pretty sure they are in a position to actually lead the entire board by the end of today, because as of now, let's take a look at the match score here from game number 2 here, From the Future, getting to first place position just because they have 10 kill points and 15 points in total, tying it with Divine Esports and MSC Teraton. All 3, the top 3, are tied at 15 points here, Jay.
Yeah, awesome performances coming up from all of them. I think that's just fair, how we saw things transpire, and I think they'll all be happy with it. Divine, especially because they're going to maintain the lead that they had going into this particular game. Fury Australia, though, they're going to be getting 9 points here. Pretty good performance, but yeah, that fight they were losing out earlier on really didn't allow them to get more from this game, but they were looking pretty good for it after that the roundabout rotation all the way onto that western side. Victim Rise and Game Home both will be going to be getting solid 8 points apiece here. Division X, X Stadium, and Daytrade both all going to get 4 points here. And Daytrade, they've not had a good start here to day number 2, and they're going to be sliding down the standings here into that 3rd position. Fury Australia are going to overtake them, and Divine opens up quite the lead. 14 points here as they got 71. Fury Australia pipping Daytrade Gaming by 1 point.
Well, that's going to be a huge margin there. But at the same time, Fury, this is going to be a great stuff here, because this is what the predictions has been saying yesterday as well. Fury is going to be one of the teams that's going to be taking the entire tournament as well. Predictions from all you guys who's been watching as well. But now, seeing the scores here, we do see Day Trade and also BAE taking a fall down below. I'm looking forward to see if they can keep it up here. But this is going to be the recap for how it all went down from that previous game themselves here. And I see a lot of really, really awkward engagements just because of how far the rotation, the circle has forced them to push. Every single team from the eastern side was struggling to make meets and into the circle. But the only team who kind of had an okay one was Fury, just because of them making the ballsy decision to just like, you know what, let's just crash one, kill one team, back the hell up and swing all the way west side, which none of the other teams had enough field to actually rotate from the western side of the circle.
Yeah, it proved to be quite the master stroke, and everyone else was very much content to go through the meat grinder. That was the Eastern Front. Division X Gaming getting completely destroyed there by the nice spray down. But yeah, I mean, looking at how things descended here, it looked fairly balanced going into towards the end. Of course, Ronin did make it look a little bit imbalanced, but in the end, MSC Theathon, though they weren't able to directly finish off that last Fury Australia player, didn't matter in the end. But Divine, they have had such good team fights, as we did see here towards the end. And it really what did come down to that 1v1, which unfortunately just didn't quite work out for them. But still, good performance from them. And now it's really changed up the landscape of the leaderboard. Battle Arena Elites also moving down a little bit here as Divine are looking to really cement themselves here. Now, of course, that, as you said, they've had 2 chicken dinners in a row and also a top 2 placing. So they are by far looking to be the most consistent team so far. We'll have to see if they can continue that into the next segment.
Exactly here. But as of now, we've seen this play style completely switch 180-degree here, or in this case 360 to another team here. As you can see, yesterday's performance, Miramar, a lot of teams were stomping by from the side of Day Trade in the name of Day Trade Gaming. But in the end, in Erangel, it was all pure in BAE's favor. But this time, is it going to be home ground back to BAE, or will Divine Esports still remain supreme here as they dominate the entire day for today? We shall take a moment to watch this out and play it out. But for now, we're going to be taking a short break before we head into game number 3 of the PCS2 here. My name is ICBaby12. He is Play of the J, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
Is key on the battleground, so we've made it easier to share your plans with teammates, regardless of language. Spot pings and quick markers give information quickly and easily. You can even let allies know which supplies you need. Speaking of supplies, the best gear on the island is just a signal away when using a flare gun. Call in a special care package that contains crate weapons and gear, or the heavily armored and amphibious BRDM-2 transport. You there, you're leaving a valuable tool laying around. That gas can used to only refuel vehicles, but can now be used to set fiery and explosive traps. He's over here, fellas. Now wait for it, and blammo! Why, there's even a tool to deal with those pesky building campers. One stick of C4 is all it takes to send them scattering into the open, making them such an easy target that even little Timmy could pick them off. It's fun for the whole family. For those looking to prove what they're made of, Survival Mastery, Weapon Mastery, and the new Ranked Mode are all available to show the world you have what it takes, no matter the discipline. There are even special rewards for Ranked Mode that you can't get anywhere else, so rank up while the season is active. Yes, my friend, the battlegrounds continue to evolve, and Sanhok is getting the royal treatment with Season 8. Expect to see more on the loot truck, decoy grenade, and secret history of the legendary Sanhok 4 as Season 8 draws on. For now, drop into your favorite battleground and enjoy all the content PUBG has to offer. We'll see you next time.
You work for these people, and I think it's a little screwed up that you act like you're better than us.
I never said I was better.
It's the way you act.
Oh, I could never watch these things? That's exactly your job.
It's not my job. And is that how you think I talk?
Guys, someone's viewer isn't muted.
Me? Sorry. I don't know why you're all over me on this. Martin doesn't watch either.
Martin? Really? Martin, you recruited these guys. These are your people. You don't watch?
No, I watch.
Oh, now you watch.
I watch if I have to, okay?
Do you know how much these people pay to watch this? Chef, gotta taste the food.
If I bred dogs for a living, would I need to go downtown to watch every dog fight?
See? Everyone, attitude, okay? This is what I'm talking about.
Nelson's just testy because he's the only one who has to work on site.
Not that I don't mind being in a bunker, 30 feet underground. But now that you bring it up, why am I the only one that has to be here?
Because you work the blue zone?
No, I'm just saying it'd be a nice sign, of camaraderie. If you guys,
If I were to spend 4 days in the bunker with you that smells like hamburger, do you know what smells like hamburger down there? It's because that's where they put all the bodies after the match.
Hey, is anyone else still getting the interference?
Audio or video?
I'm still getting both every time the blue zone moves.
Which camera shake?
4, 5, 14, 15, 27. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'm getting freezing too.
So you are watching then?
Piss off, Nelson. Guys, chat's not pleased.
Yeah.
And welcome back to the PCS Season 2. I was watching a couple of that interesting fillers here. I was wondering what was going on, but that seems to be an interesting storyline being made here specifically for the PUBG Continental Series 2 here. But at the same time, once again, welcome back to the tournament himself. My name is ICBaby12. Joined with me is none other than Play of the J, the man, the myth, the legend. And we're going to be bringing you some amazing games here coming into this tournament. And once again, this event is brought to you and sponsored by none other than Predator, PUBG Corp, and none other than Geek events. I hope you guys enjoy the games to come here. But as of now, let's bring back to topic. We are going into game number 3. Jay, Erangel seems to be the better team in the maps, in the hands of BAE. Sorry, the better team for Erangel seems to be in the hands of BAE based on yesterday's performance. And seeing how they played in today's performance for Miramar, kind of shaky. Do you think they'll make a comeback here for Erangel?
I think definitely they've shown that, they have a bit more consistency when it comes to Erangel, but the small sample size, of course, can mean that, they might not turn up, but definitely they did much better on the Erangel segment. But let's not forget the other team that also played well on Erangel. That was Divine, and with Divine on the role that they are now, both teams look good to have solid performances coming out in this next round. But I think we'll of course see whether Battle Arena Elites can come out with something better. We do have that expectation of them, but who knows? Things might have changed since yesterday. Case in point is Day Trade not really turning up today in the Miramar segment, albeit yesterday when they did have that big win, it was only 1 out of the 2. The other game was kind of average, I would dare say, but yeah, I think anything can happen. And now with the teams having had the chance to really rethink on, the finer tactics, I think we were talking about this at the start of the day, where they've all had the chance to see what are the tendencies from each of these other teams. They have definitely already made some of these adjustments here. And Divine, I think they've adapted to it the best here after having 2 pretty good rounds to start the day.
Yeah, based on statistics as well from Divine Esports here, they haven't had a lot of strong showings since 2019. earlier 2019, and ever since that happens, earlier 2020, they were having a really rough time coming from Vietnam as well. But today and yesterday, they were stomping their way through. Seems to me, if they keep this up, things are going to go extremely well for the Vietnamese teams here. However, here's going to be some stats for you guys, for those of you watching at home. Erangel completely dominated from Battle Arena Elites here with 40 points total secured from Erangel, with Sophia and Loki topping the charts here with 8 kills and 7 kills each player here. Jay, do you think they will step it up this game?
Well, I think definitely they're going to go back to their roots, and their roots being Milta here. And as long as they don't have an obstacle in the form of Victim Rise, I think they should be pretty good to bounce back. And yeah, funnily enough, they've just been running into each other nonstop here so far. So let's see if that is going to continue here in match number 3 for day 2. But it looks like everyone's going to be fairly evenly scattered. Let's see if that's really going to be influencing them as the day progresses. Fury Australia again going for Sosnovka military base, and that could be a godsend for them, as it looks as though that there's a good chance here that we're going to be moving to that island here for our first Erangel round. And I definitely would love an island finish. It definitely tests these teams a little bit more. Division X Gaming, again, not having a lot of luck. They're so far away from the zone. It's pretty much like the first match of the day.
Yeah, this is extremely hard to actually play with here, but at the same time, GH, not sure what he was thinking there, but Tonke, what a shot from afar. He takes one, goes in for the flick, he gets another one. Tonke, where is this Magic Esports coming from? No, never mind. I keep
well, I think that's Caster's curse right there, you know, and Game Home going to be able to settle the score somewhat, as Clory is going to be able to take him down. Magic Esports now, they are not sitting at the bottom of the table anymore. It's actually going to be Archangel, but they can still do with a few more points to try and move a little bit further up, as really there are a number of teams that really residing at the bottom, which we wouldn't expect to see them. Their Archangel Predator typically competing at the highest levels here against the likes of Divine Esports in the past. They've been struggling so far in this tournament, and they're currently sitting in that last spot. It's not looking too good. Cerberus, I think this is the one that really people did not expect. I mean, it was always a question about, are they going to really turn up or have consistent performances? But we haven't seen a performance from them, arguably, over the course of the 2 days so far. And they're sitting in that 14th spot. So something's kind of got to give from them, as they got to pick themselves up. Now, you know that there's the PUBG Pick'em Challenge, ladies and gentlemen, that you can choose who you think is going to be winning. If you buy one of the PCS2 skins, you could get a coupon to vote for that. So in that voting system, currently Cerberus is leading the pack in terms of what people think, or rather of the team who people think is going to win this whole thing by a substantial margin. And yeah, this is really in stark contrast.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for them here, because right now, Divine Esports is the only team that is playing extremely safe as well. If you notice throughout the games as well, they lay low all the way towards the final few circles before actually committing to full-fledged fights here. But not everyone has the privilege to actually have the luxury of just taking a chill pill for at least 5 circles and hiding the compound, expecting nobody to contest them. But at the same time, from Divine Esports, it seems to me they've found an algorithm here. Yes, they may not have got high kill volumes, they may not have flares, but having strategic positioning and strategic placement points is going to help you win games. It's a balance between having enough kills and having enough placement points to stay at the top. And Divine Esports being one of the teams to actually top on that right now, it's gonna crack some better reins a little bit here, because as of now, landmark changes coming from BRU, built up power and surrounding areas, Gatka and surrounding areas as well. They've switched the new spot here. BRU going to be taking a different approach in their drop spots here, Jay.
Yeah, and they might need to do that. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, the code just appearing on your screen there is to redeem the PCS2 skins. Can only be redeemed once in game by the gift code redemption option. So make sure that you try and enter this in as fast as you can, as it only got that one use. And there are some pretty cool skins, and you will get free voting coupons as well for the said Pick'em challenge as well. So make sure that you do try and look at that here. And back to the game here, we do have Kaiser Tuna making a very fast rotation here on the Eastern Bridge, and this is gonna hopefully get them ahead of the rest of the pack.
Hold up, Jay. Hold up. You know, champion prediction for PCS2, XS is on 0%. What?
Yep.
Come on, man. If they get chicken dinner from the rest of the games, they're pretty much gonna still stand a chance to get a champion, man. Like, how can that be non-existent? Is that like based on voting, or is that based on the statistic amount coming to this tournament?
Thing is, if it's based on statistics, I mean, X Stadium, they did actually get 10 kills in the very first game, you know, and that's 1 point shy of what Magic Esports and Archangel Predator have right now, and that was just in the very first game. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what goes into their model to predict the winners here, but yes, I mean, 0% seems a little harsh. Just a little.
But that's the thing, right? You know, that's welcome to esports. Welcome to professional top tier tournament. This is S tier, right? That's the skill cap right now. Like the prediction from the analytics here is pretty much on point here. If you think about it, look at Divide Esports, look at Fury, look at Day Trade, look at DAE, look at Game Home. These are the guys that are extremely hard to take down. Even BRU, they had their moments, but they are on top 7. But if you're not anywhere near in the top 8 at all, the chances of you to stand a chance extremely low, especially now where it's already like the 6th game. Sorry, this is the 7th game now. For them to adapt, it's going to be a tough one to play here. If you do not adapt by like the 6th or 7th game, things are going to go south here. And one of the teams that actually caught my eye is none other than Victim, because they had the roughest 4 games of their life yesterday. And today, game 1, they slowly adapted. Game 2, they played a little bit better. They're pushing a lot of shots here. But can they keep up with the consistency? Because that's the most important question here. However, the circle, where's it going to be the circle be here? We see teams already setting up shot towards the central of the circle here. Could it be towards the edge of the mainland, or is it going to be the edge of the military island themselves here, Jay?
Yeah, I think these teams, they're going to have to play their cards right now. Normally in a competitive setting like this, you can only afford to make a huge rotation, like say go from the main island to Sosnovka Island maybe one time, just because of the amount of risk involved there. And these teams are probably waiting to see what is going to happen once phase 1 finishes here. But they need to be ready to move ASAP, because yeah, if everyone moves at the same time, they're going to be in with a little bit of a better chance than if they were to, say, blindly rotate now across the bridge, and then, yeah, then they have to come all the way back as, yeah, fender benders like that is not going to help at this time, especially when timing is such of the essence here. Only 13 seconds left here before phase 2.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough circle here. This is where experience comes into play here, and how well are you going to be adapting here. And I feel like this circle is completely testing the skills of players, expecting to be extremely flexible here. But guess what? Bamboozled. The circle goes back to main island, and they trade there in the middle of it all. They're going to be the safest possible position. And Divide Esports, they took the longest route ever. They're still in Novo, still taking it away through, and they are going to be taking the boat route from the eastern side, tanking at least 2 zones before actually making their way into the western side of the shores. And I don't know what to say. Divide Esports taking an insane strat. I'm not sure it's going to work out, but let's take a see momentarily. Let's check back and then after 11 minutes when they actually make it to the western shores.
Yeah, I mean, they are so far away right now, and they got so many teams on the channel, or rather along the coastline here. Now, it looks like X Stadium is going to actually be able to transition over to the main island here in the nick of time before things get a little bit too heavy. And they might actually be able to gatekeep some of these other teams are on the Sosnovka Island. There's still going to be Kaiser Tuna, Fury Australia, I'm not sure if Battle Arena Elites is going to be making that kind of dangerous rotation across the island. And I wouldn't put it past them. Sometimes it can be a masterstroke, but I don't think it's one of those moments here. And we're actually going to be seeing that landfall here is going to be taking place here for Divine. But look at how far away they are. They luckily managed to secure their vehicles that they disembarked from earlier on. So they're actually going to be taking the long way around.
They went back for the vehicles. Wow. Okay. Well, I did not expect that. But guess what? That's how you plan A. You know, if plan A doesn't work, if plan A we set up plan A. Okay, plan A doesn't work. Let's go back to plan 0. And initially, plan 0 was a plan they were about to ditch. Let's go back to that, back to square one, and putting those vehicles. And see, it shows me that experience plays a huge factor. Remembering where you parked your vehicles, and that's gonna help you out eventually. And that's gonna help actually actually increases the odds of Divine Esports not dying to the zone now. However, BAE taking the Pochinki route, going through the city, knowing it's pretty much empty still, and then they're going to be rotating from the northern section here. I'm worried here, Jay.
Yeah, I think they are
find a place to campaign.
Yeah, right now just trying to find the path of least resistance at the moment here. Cerberus has managed to do surprisingly well here to get to the warehouse next to the gas station here, just next to the bridge. So they've done pretty well for themselves. This is a very central location. Now we're going to start to see more teams pile in. Astra moving across Gatka here. Luckily for them, there's not going to be a lot of these holds held by some of these teams, which is really going to constrict the flow here. But Noctown here, he's going to be all by himself at the gas station, and Basil might be able to catch him out ever so carefully if just spot out. He's already trying to shoot the feet there if the opportunity presents itself.
Yep, as the circle closes in, is it going to be bamboozling everyone back into island? We shall see. But as of now, the boys in Day Trade as well as MSC, they're pretty much in the center of the circle. No matter what, they are going to be either in the middle or somewhere closest towards the next phase of the circle. Looks like it's not going to be bamboozle. It is going to be heading towards Fairy Pier here. So the guys on the first circle here, everyone who's rotated the military iron are going to struggle here. And it feels bad for Fury because it seems to me it was going to be a military iron circle. It's not happening right now. So we are going to be expecting a lot of gatekeepers towards the western bridge. And you can see setup shops are coming in. Day trade. Unfortunately, Poochie is out and open. There's not much angles he can work with. He will get picked off.
Yeah, Poochie here is going to be biting the dust here pretty early for Day Trade as the entirety of MSC Theathon is starting to advance a little bit closer to their position. Currently, the rest of the team members all across the roadside here, but Linksy is going to be confirming that one. Now, there is still going to be these teams that have to figure out what are we going to do to get on the main island. Fury Australia definitely in a little bit of a pickle at the moment. They're going to be on the other side of the bridge here. Game Home taking quite a bit of damage early on. Now, they already took a lot of damage at the start of the game here, but now they're going to lose another player here. Norian's going to be able to contribute more of those high damage stats that he has managed to accumulate so far. But Day Trade, they've been a little bit quiet of late here, so they really do need to try and get something going. Battle Arena Elites trying to stop here and try and catch from the future players here. They knocked down one here through Sophia, and he's going to be able to confirm the kill there in quick fashion.
Nicely done here coming from BAE, but at the same time here, I like how BAE is just opting a decision. Do we rotate into the forest here? Because the forest itself is extremely thick and extremely tame at the same time. Just because of how hard is it to rotate in, but at the same time, FTF, 10i, he gets road killed by his teammate here. A very, very aggressive push. They are going to be pumping sausages all into the vehicle right there, but Nando will get a nice knock there as he's going to be the last man standing. MSC, he's going to try and get finished off here. Yoshi Minbori, the guy who touched the chicken dinner for the team, is going to be then taken down here. Nando's going to be left out in the open. However, Astra on the other end is going to get a couple pickoffs in, and this is what I'm talking about, right? Driving the forest is extremely hard to navigate, and on top of that, it's hard to spot enemies lurking into his ambushes here. As soon as they ambush you, there's no way for you to rotate in time, just because if you make a wrong turn, you are going to be crashing into one of the trees here. So that's going to be extremely, extremely hard here to rotate in. However, if you are walking alone, it's extremely easy to lurk by enemy teams here. However, Fury Ronan, What a man! He chopped in, swapped his seat, get the knock in, takes out Muriel, takes out the position. He's gonna pick another fight now. What a play.
Oh, that was amazing there. The vehicle doing a significant chunk of damage there. Lots of style points coming out for Ronin, and he's going to be strutting his stuff yet again as we're seeing how the Phase 4 zone is going to be looking here. It's going to probably be kind of 100% over the land here since it's going to be Phase 4 at the end of the day. But now it looks like it's going to be moving slightly away from the ferry pier side of things. This is going to be good for Buriram and BAE, who have seemingly gotten stuck here in the fields of Gatka, and now looks like MSC Theathon, they had to run into From the Future just to try and get any headway here. Fury Australia, though, is taking a bit of damage there from Day Trade. He's going to be in a good position here to gatekeep some of these teams.
Yeah, this is extremely hard for them here, just because like the fields of the fields in Gatka is pretty much exposed to the mountain terrains that's happening right now. But if the opportunity arises where every single team from the south side actually pushes to the mountain, this is going to be extremely helpful for BAE. But is that going to be happen? Let's see right now, because as of now, from the perspectives of Victim, they are one of the first to actually rotate into the circle from the further side of the circle here, and they might run into a Sulabi right here, which is going to be happening here. Shots are being dished out, and Sulabi is going to bail out of this here because he's the last man standing, and I'm surprised he actually took a jab about this, and he may actually fall. He's going to get in towards the car available, but the nades here from Sulabi causing a lot of damage here, and that's going to chip away into the vehicles from Victim.
Yeah, I mean, but he's like running from danger to danger here as he's going toward the ferry pier side of things here, but looks like Vexer God here is going to take down one, but he's going to get traded back there by Style G as Kaiser Tuna looking to try and sustain as much as possible here over on the jetty side of ferry pier, but now looks like Sulabi here is not going to be able to survive after that dangerous rotation there. But yeah, I mean, he didn't really have a lot that he could do. He was driving around inside the zone, and yeah, surely there's going to be 15 other teams all looking to really catch him out. Fury Australia running across here. Now, there's going to be a number of teams here in close quarters, but mostly it's going to be Embassy Theathon. But Rosita Jr., he's going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Vexagod here is also going to be down on the ground.
Well, I'm surprised Yukika actually spotted that here. That was pretty much a pixel angle from his perspective here. From those angles, it's extremely hard to spot enemies here, but he actually managed to catch a glimpse of him, immediately takes him down. That's insane here coming from Fury. And because of that, they capitalize on a couple of kills here, and it seems to me the strategy coming from Fury is to just pick a couple of fights, pick one guy out, get back out. Pick one guy out, back out. Get a couple of easy pickings here and try not to commit into a full-fledged fight. And it seems to be temporarily working out, and they are going to be gatekeeping the guys from the southwest corners. A lot of gunshots has been made from this corner here, and they may consider to try third party and maybe even pit Kaiser Tuna and also the guys at MSC together. But little did they know, MSC is pretty much left alone.
Well, right now they don't really have the numbers to work with in that particular position. They only have the one player left remaining here. Now, of course, that was enough for them to win the game in match number 2 of today. But of course, things are very different now. And now we'll see that Division X Gaming, they have got oceans of space here all the way on this western side of the zone, and ready to mobilize here in a moment's notice to see how the next phase is going to be looking. But Buriram, they got one of the largest compounds here. It's not a good chance of still being inside the zone here. We'll see if that happens or not. Astra also in the tree line, they have got a lot of flexibility here, and looks like they'll continue to have that, but they're going to have to repel from a number of directions here as everyone will all be looking to get in.
Yep, speaking of which here, we do see KT, the guys here, are going to be contesting the guys from MSC. However, like you said as well, Buriram, the compound, the only possible weakness from that compound is the guys from Cerberus Esports' mountain spot here. And the circle is not going to be helping them here. It's going to be forced Cerberus out in the open, and this is going to be helping Buriram hold out a little bit more to live to tell another day. However, the boys in BAE is going to be proning into the open fuse here, but now, from the perspectives of Kaiser Tuna, they are going to be pushing out from the south side. XS going to be diving into his game home, and they will get the nice finish here as game home will finish off on 15th place. MSC, you can see getting Progen from KT, and eventually gets finished out here. Kaiser Tuna needs to clear out as much as they can, cover as much ground as they can before they push to the next phase of circle, and that's exactly happening. Divine Esports, one of the teams that is the latest to rotate in, finally makes its way, is going to be engaging against the Filipino squad.
Oh, they're trying to take them down in close quarters. Two of the players there going down in a very instantaneous fashion there, as Momonji and CJ will not live to see the end game here. But Turtle taking so much damage here. He's in the blue zone. You don't think he can heal. He's going to actually get taken down by the blue zone. Levi is going to follow suit here under the pressure. And yeah, Godmeow is going to be able to apply a little bit more himself. Is Buriram United just not allowing them their opponents to get inside the zone? And we could be seeing our most consistent team for the last 3 rounds expiring just like this, you know. And it's a bit of a shame, right? Because we saw them go on that big rotation all the way to Novo. They went all the way around back to their vehicles and on the northern side, but it didn't come to anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. They took too long to rotate, and not to mention as well, they don't have much utility to work with. So for them to bow the 11th place here, this is going to be a great opportunity for the rest of the pack to actually catch up. In this case, Fury is going to be one of those teams right now, by far the most consistent throughout all the games here, and not falling off with any bottom placements yet from Fury. And so far, that's continued the match, as we can see Victim as they slowly crawl their way to the next phase of circle. Fury finally managed to exit the southern section here, and they are going to be venturing towards the open fields of Gatkar very shortly. Shots are being dished out as well. Victim with only 1 HP left, and a couple of stray bullets are coming in. They're trying to pick him off from the side of Fury. Unfortunately, can't seem to finish Bob, but the circle right now is going to push out the guys from BRU for sure. BAE getting pinned from multiple angles in the name of Divinity, Division X, as well as BRU. And the circle, you can see Lokis and Sophia already inside. Star completely middle of it all. Day Trade already having 1 member in. Fury has to cross the road, getting pinned from both Victim as well as the guys from Star. So it's going to be a tough one here, but it seems to me the first movements are coming in from Division X Gaming, as they are going to be thinking to clean out the western sides before actually committing into the complete zone in here. But the dates here going very, very far in here, almost clipping the guys from KT, and they're getting shots in available. And Division X, they are going to go in for the fight. But KT, they're focused on Victim. They're going to get third party in this fight, and because of those shots, Victim, they will be victorious, and they secure themselves a couple of wins that way. And Fury will capitalize on this situation to rotate in. Jay.
Kaiser Tuna getting absolutely sandwiched in between Victim Rise and the likes of Division X Gaming. Fury Australia now could sandwich Victim Rise in turn. Currently still trying to pick themselves up. They already have 2 players down on the ground. One can still be rest here. Fury Australia, they're going to be slowed down, as Ronan also going to be looking to get back on his feet. But now Astra still in that very central spot here. This is when they have to try and exert as much map control as possible, as they want to force these other teams to really try and engage with one another, and that's what's going to yield them good results here. Things are absolutely crowded here on this northeastern side. Buriram United have run all the way from the compound, but they are still facing pressure here from Cerberus, who also took up their own position. Now Eddie and Nor Ardra, they're down on the ground, and this is a little bit dicey here for the Thai squad, as now Battle Arena Elites looking to get a bit of revenge themselves. The nades flying in. Sophia's going to finish off Eddie.
That's nicely done here, and BAE, they needed an opportunity, and they will secure themselves here. Cerberus taking a team fight here, but at the same time, they're engaging in XS, and Cerberus Esports, they actually shut them down. However, the rest of the teams are also struggling to make men's ends meet here as they try to rotate in the next phase of circle. Day Trade Gaming, they're going to try and save Nautica, but in front of them is in the name of XS, and also getting pinned in. Joining team fight very shortly is going to be Buriram, who's also making their way into the circle. Cerberus was picked out. That's going to be a great win for them, but God meow, they will pick off the guys from XS, and XS will pretty much get eliminated in this process here. Division X Gaming, they book a run towards KT, but this time they're making a U-turn back. It seems to me they wanted to engage the boys in BAE, but unfortunately they made a decision. Do we want to engage this? I think we need to secure the control and make sure we push into the circle here. But as of now, we can see Linksy from Star making the first play here to secure the compound before anyone else. That's going to be one of the strongest, most fortified places to actually engage in before this next phase of circle. And it will. It seems to me it's going to be full control coming from Star. But it's all up to Star to actually control this compound. But in this case, they do get a kill here. Zoid and will finish off Yukika, Mukau, and Fury. They have to push in. There was not much angle to work with, not much utilities as well. This is not looking too good for Fury.
No, not looking too good. They're getting pinched a little bit here. They can't really rotate to the northern side as this Division X, and Ronan is going to get shot out by Zoidmate. Gonna nail him between the eyes here. And now only one player left standing here for Fury Australia. And I have to really commend Astra for being able to swing around in the center of the circle to bring guns to bear on a particular flank, as it's been really sealing the deal here. And I believe that is their 9th kill of the game here, as they're looking to pull themselves into the top half of the table. Daytrade is still in the game. They're already getting pushed in by phase number 7 here, as it's starting to nip at their heels. And this could be a little bit difficult here if more than one of the players from Astra, i.e. Linksy, is going to be able to help on that front.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, right? This is literally the fight for the top spot, right? Everyone in the top pack is pretty much fighting for the slot to take down Divine Esports and Fury. And in this case, Fury has pretty much lost the lead. We're down towards the final 5 teams here. And see, Daytrade are getting shots in. Star, they lose a couple members to work with here. But like I said, this spot was one of the most fortified places to actually be in, and we can see nades are coming in. Daytrade Gaming, they need a lucky shot in. Can they get it in? But unfortunately, there's just so many angles. But no, not gonna clip him off. But the Mollies will push them back, and as they will be forced to back out. Daytrade Gaming will, fortunately for them, to creep their way into this heavily fortified compound in the name of Star Trade. Astra right now, and in this case, God Meow, they will finish off Norwich. Jay, what is going to be happening here? This is tough. This is tough.
Yeah, Buriram United coming in from the other side here. They're going to be able to get a lot of flanking shots, but flanking shots coming out from Linksy as well. Taking out Flash and Venotica, and yeah, Daytrade unwittingly went through the meat grinder here, and now Buriram United trying to use this as a little bit to their advantage and see if they can try and take the northeastern side of the trenches here and be able to work with that Noradra. He's got the Graza in tow here, so he's got the perfect weaponry to be able to mow down the rest of the Oceania team if he so gets the opportunity. Battle Arena Elite, they're still sustaining in this fight here through Sophia and Loki's, so that could be a definite plus in their assault on the top of the standings. They drop down to that 4th spot, and this could be their chance to overtake Daytrade, who has only got 1 point higher than them. But now look at Astra. They already moved up into that 7th position here just by having such a good performance here in this first match of Erangel.
This is extremely hard for them here. They've got 13 kills from Astra, and like you said, extremely good performance. And this is going to be a battle of the middle pack here as they try to get some more points to actually take down Divine Esports. This is going to be an opportunity for them, but as of now, they're doing the best as they can. We're down towards the final 4 right now with BAE2 members, BRU2 members, Division X Gaming 3 members, and Astra with completely domination in kills and still 4 men healthy with a lot of utilities to work with here. And it seems to me the teams have to figure out who is who right now, because nobody knows where is where, considering how chaotic the fights has become. We know that Astra is pretty much dominating everyone right now, but do they know that there's still 4 men healthy? Do they tag team right now? But as you can see, it's going to be the final circle right now. And everyone is going to be lurking their way towards the middle very shortly. Astra just trying to stretch as much as they can to try and find out a couple of straggling lurkers in towards the cracks of the trees as they try and expose their position here. Flex a little bit more with their control, but you can see they are going to be dominating from the southern section. But the final circle is going to be somewhere in this vicinity, and everyone's going to be rotating towards the center point. And Star, they have a lot of cracks to work with, Jay. And who's going to make their move first? It seems to me Division X Gaming, they could be the first to make their move with the smoke there, Jay.
Yeah, they're trying to reposition with a little bit of vehicle mobility that they have, but looks like Longke, he's going to get picked off by Linksy here as Astra really on a roll here in terms of landing those shots. And they already have 13 kills in this game, and they'll be looking to add a few more and really put an exclamation point on the result of this particular match, but it is a little bit early to tell who is going to be able to come out on top. They do have the advantage in terms of numbers, but all it takes is for a couple of these teams to really converge onto the Oceania team at the wrong time, and that is going to be it. But here we got a 2v2 battle here in the form of Buriram United and Battle Arena Elite. Sophia is moving up close with his barrel. Little does he know that there's going to be the Graza waiting for him on the other side, but a little bit more advantage, I dare say, here to Buriram United, given the kind of height that they're working with. Both of the BAE players here lying prone, but there's not going to be a lot more space here. And Linksy is actually going to be taking down Noradra, as Buriram has not got a lot to work with here, but Godmeow is still going to be able to take down Loki's. Now it's a one-on-one battle here. Godmeow is going to be able to claim the second kill there at the expense of the Malaysian squad.
Yeah, there's nothing much they could have done in that situation, but it seems to be Division X Gaming. They're taking a fight with Astra. It's going to be full flash commitment. Astra, they've got 15 kills. They're looking for more. DXG, Sapao, and NBK. They're looking in the stroke here. It's going to be the smoke criminal as they push towards Astra, but they are on the edge of the circle. They've lost 2 members, and Astra, they're getting surrounded. It's all up to a Zoid M. There's right side by side right now, and Zoid M will get in there with the clutch. He gets one, but he eventually gets taken down from NBK, and it's going to be up towards NBK. 1v1 against Nikos. He's going to get flanked. It seems to be he's going to be focused on finishing those kill points, but eventually Buriram will take the chicken dinner as they capitalize the situation, and they will win the chicken dinner. But still, nevertheless, Astra got super greedy there, but that's the thing about the circle, right? You do what you gotta do, make the best of the best situation. They had a full-fledged commitment with Division X Gaming. Play of the J. It seems to me we might see a pretty tight game between the top 8 teams here. Everyone is just fighting to take down the top spot.
That's exactly what we love to see here. Everyone just going ham on each other here, and it's really hard to predict who's going to be able to come out with it. The leaders at the top of the table all dropping out early on here, but the chasing pack not too far behind, all looking to take advantage. And who could have predicted that Buriram United would win in the fashion that they did? Again, 2 games in a row, we had a solo squad member as the one to come out on top. But yeah, a lot of fights up close and personal. I love to see that. And Astra, yeah, they couldn't do too much in that kind of distance there with the Division X Gaming, and they were all up in each other's faces. Absolutely love the grittiness of the fighting here. But Astra, this is definitely their breakout performance so far for PCS2. 15 kills in tow. Likely they're going to be getting that top position despite not getting that final placing here. But Godmeow, he did manage to secure a few of those kills there towards the end. I think it was the Battle Arena Elite players, not only the final frag as well.
Well, honestly speaking, everyone in the top side is pretty much the teams has pretty much made a huge statement like this, like what Astra did. What Astra did right now is literally the opening ticket to say, welcome to the top leaderboards. You are still not the top. Can you keep this up? Because everyone is pushing neck and neck. Look at this. The top 5 here are pretty much in the top of the leaderboard. We have Astra, we have Buriram, we have Division X Gaming, we have Fury, we have Battle Arena Elites as well. XS makes their way in. Daytrade Gaming fell a little bit short. Victim Rise slowly picking their way up here. But whereas the biggest surprising factor here is still going to be none other than Divine Esports, because this is their first time completely kicked out in this game just because of how bad the zone was for them.
Yeah, and unfortunate circumstances really befell them there in terms of the overall plays. And yeah, they're not going to be able to get anything from this game. Archangel Predator, it's weird to see them not getting as many points as they would have liked here compared to their normal performances whenever they foray at this particular competition. But now we're seeing that there's going to be quite a bit of change in the standings here. Buriram United, they're going to be pretty pleased with how this went there. I mean, they've had a lackluster Miramar segment. Now, they did have a couple of good rounds yesterday, but then it looked as though that they were really going to be having a bad day number 2. Divine Esports, though, despite not getting a single point, though, they are going to still be leading the rest of the pack there, albeit they're going to have their lead cut down ever so slightly there by Fury Australia. They're going to be within touching distance here, only 7 points away. And Daytrade, they're just kind of maintaining it there, but Daytrade, since that one big game, I think we haven't really seen them really post all that much in the way of points, maybe just 4 points here and there. Battle Arena Elites, they're going to be moving back up here into that 4th position after they're going to be getting a few more points themselves.
Buriram as well, going to be on the 5th place as well after taking a chicken dinner. And you can see the score disparity in the top first place all the way towards the 8th place. Okay, maybe 8th place is a little bit too far-fetched, but the 7th place there is pretty much still chaseable, still capable. Divine Esports, they've had a poor performance in Erangel, but nevertheless, we still have one more game to come. However, on the screen here, we do see a couple of recaps coming in on what exactly happened in that match. In the previous match here, we see a couple of interesting skirmishes with the sea towards the southern section of the map here, and especially on Fury Pier, where MSC was dominating that section for quite some time, was contested by multiple teams. But this play from Ronan was insane, man.
Oh yeah, really just bringing the freight train there. But now, of course, did see a lot of teams here make it into the later stages. But yeah, just facing a lot of extreme difficulty there towards the end bits, as the teams which did manage to secure quite a bit of a stronghold and footing inside closer towards the center zones, definitely were going to be able to exert that advantage that they did have. Astra, though, of course, were the best at doing this here. They were just racking up the kills and really forcing all of these teams into very uncomfortable positions there. Fury Australia knowing full well what they're capable of, and just all around the shots coming out from Astra were on point, but it was a real fracas and brawl there right at the end. Godmeow going to be absolutely pleased that he's putting Buriram United on the board, and there's still plenty of rounds to play here, and any of these teams can still put in quite the performance and take the giant chunk out of that $200,000 in prize money.
Exactly here, and the moment the truth is going to be unveiled very soon here, but we are only on day 2, and we are going to be closing out day 2 very shortly after one more game. We're going to be heading out towards the map of Erangel very, very soon, but before that, we're going to be taking a short break, and we'll be right back with game number 4 for you guys. My name is ICBaby12, and he's Player J. We'll see you guys for game number 4.
That's never pleased, okay? You can't please everyone.
Working on that. How about now?
Yeah, that's good, Studio.
Thanks, Martin.
Okay. Shrinking the blue zone. Anybody want to make a bet?
Alright, I was just feeding in the data. I was doing the usual, and it just kicked me out.
Yeah, Cobaltic's still not loading for me.
Listen, I told you something was wrong with the blue zone. It's been doing this all game. What have you been doing?
Everyone chill, all right? This is why you should be on site and not at some hotel.
Guys, do we have a last known for squad 4?
Which combatant?
Any of them.
What does system error mean?
System error means the blue chip's offline.
It can't be offline.
It says it's offline.
Well, is it possible they're just dead?
And they would say deceased. So
Nelson, well, chat's asking questions. What should I tell them?
Tell them, just tell them we'll get this fixed.
We'll get this fixed?
Yes, Shay, we will get this fixed. Do you know the kind of people we work for?
Martin, is squad 4 the one with the engineer?
Yep. Slade's team.
Why is it Slade's team? Why isn't it Mad Malholtra's team? Or
Is this Slade the American? The one that you paired with the psychopath, so ham meat.
It is lunch meat. Oh, she is cute.
Gals, you know she killed 14 people before she was 18.
She's actually the one that broke Martin's nose during the interview.
So it's Slade, Malhotra, Lunchmeat, and Julie, and you're saying we lost them. All of them.
Okay, everybody calm down, take a deep breath. Try not to worry, okay?
Don't worry about the illegal murder game we could all go to jail for. Or don't worry about the fact that someone might show up in my hotel room tonight with a silenced 45.
Sudhir, I need eyes. Give me Omega override, please.
I'm on it.
All right, I'm coming through the other side.
Yeah, I'm rewriting it.
Thank you. Nelson, you feel like jumping in at all?
Martin, has anyone tried to get off the island before?
No.
No one's ever had their chip go offline before, Shay.
Okay, I think I have something. Loot truck went down 4 minutes ago, half a click from boot camp. I think it's
Yeah, I see it. I've got down cameras south along Main Street.
Where were they when the blue zone messed up?
Say it was the blue zone again, Martin, and it'll be your body stashed in this bunker.
I got it. Last one's at the quarry.
They're going for the center of the map. Nelson, there's no way in hell they can get into the bunker, is there?
Of course not.
How do you know?
In the history of Battlegrounds, no one has ever found the bunker.
And no one's ever disabled the chip either.
Okay, guys, everyone just calm down. This isn't a bloody moon landing. We can...
Nelson, what's going on over there?
Oh my god.
I'm the IT guy, all right? I don't have any
Yeah, okay.
what you guys do
Nelson,
upstairs.
get out!
Martin? Martin, what are we gonna do?
It was a pleasure working with you guys.
Sadir, what are you doing?
I hope this works out.
Sadir!
Now, I still might have a shot. Bye, guys.
This is not our fault. We did not. I'll tell him. We were not involved with anything.
Yeah,
so
can we just, I mean, isn't there a team we can send in?
There was. They were at the bunker.
Okay, well, how long until they make it to the mainland?
18 minutes.
Sir. I'm afraid the control room has been compromised, sir. We're still trying to figure out exactly what happened with Tech. But maybe there was something in the backpack or something in the truck. I mean, we were monitoring everything.
I understand right now that things seem complicated. Let me assure you they are not. They are extremely simple. Your lives, your loved ones, everything. All of it now depends on your ability to do one simple thing. Find the Sanhok 4.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back here to PCS2 Apac. I'm Play of the J. With me is Terrence Young, aka IC Baby 12, and we're gonna be bringing you one more map here on Erangel. As all of the teams that are participating, they all managed to bust out with some great performances so far. And really, it's when we kind of thought that we figured it out as to who is going to be performing, you know, we're just going to be surprised at every corner. And yeah, I can't imagine a greater way to experience it, but definitely from a caster's prediction point of view, it's tough as hell.
Yeah, it's extremely tough to actually figure out what's going to be happening here. But once again, before we get into here, shout out to our amazing sponsors here, Predator, PUBG Corp, and none other than Geek Events for having us as well. And for those of you guys watching as well, we are going to be giving you some amazing PCS exclusive skins here on gonna be giving you some codes later on throughout the entire game here, so be sure to have your PUBG up and available here and prepare to redeem it as well, because it's gonna be first come first serve. But now let's talk about the game here. Play of the J. Divine Esports had a small falling, they had a great lead, still top 1, and because of that small falling, everyone in the middle pack stands a chance to overtake the crown for this week. Okay, this week, this final match is gonna decide who's gonna be holding the crown for at least a week, which is gonna be the next match, which is day 3, is gonna be happening next week themselves, and day 2 itself. This final match, who is gonna be taking the crown, and do you think Divine Esports will defend the crown?
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty difficult one to say. They definitely look good for it in terms of their overall form because, yeah, they, as you mentioned, it was really just an awkward movement in the circle here that was really going to be a little bit of a curveball for them. Made it a little bit dicey to be able to get out from that battle where I think they were a bit sandwiched there by the likes of Buriram United. But in any case, I think Divine, they have got a decent chance because all things considered, you know, they're still going to be bringing to them the quality, the confidence that they have as well. But as we know, this is Battle Royale, though, so anything can really happen. I would definitely put them to retain their lead just because they currently do have that, well, albeit slim single-digit lead over the likes of Fury Australia. It's currently at 7 points, but given that we don't know who is reliable enough to be able to get a result that is going to take them past the points total that Divine already has, that's going to be part of the reason why we probably won't see a change there at the very top of the table. But the chasing pack, yeah, they're going to be shuffled by the end of today. That's for sure.
Very, very confident, huh? 10 points difference between first and second place, but anything can happen here. We've seen BAE drop the 30 bomb yesterday, and I don't know, 20 kills and 10 points chicken dinner. Not too hard for BAE, considering it is after all the map of Erangel. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading up in towards game number 4 in the map of Erangel. Pretty standard, pretty balanced flight path from the southeast corner, and currently BAE has one of the highest points scoring in this entire game for Erangel throughout all 3 games, including yesterday's 2 match, today's 3rd match here, now being the 4th match in Erangel. Will they keep up the good work here? Will they continue to lead the pack in Erangel and completely annihilate everyone as being the kings of Erangel potentially?
Exactly, and Battle Arena Elites, while they didn't have the best of games the previous round, they still had a pretty decent one, coming in that 4th place and getting 3 kills to boot. That's going to help their chances here, and definitely in terms of Erangel performance, they are definitely up there past the likes of Bray Rum United and Divine Esports. So we'll see how that will change things a little bit later on. Currently, there's still going to be chances for all of these teams to really dice up the standings ever so much more, and definitely going to be a lot of entertainment for the rest of us to be able to see that. But of course, this zone here is going to be pretty much the most forgiving that we've ever seen so far on any of our Erangel rounds. Gives everyone a very fair chance, but at the same time, because of the flight path, everyone knows that there's going to be already that presence in the center, so we might not see a lot of crazy rotations to start the game here, as they're all going to be looking for significant shifts for them to make any significant moves.
Yep, as of now, like you said, very forgiving circle, okay? Everyone is going to be A-okay, but at the same time, there's just so many places to actually rotate in this circle compared to the previous rounds, including the maps of Miramar. And I feel like this circle is going to make things a little bit tougher for all these teams to actually go in for kills, just because there are so many angles to worry about. There's not a lot of choke spots to actually figure out as well. And seeing how the terrain is going to be played here, I feel like the teams with the proper vehicles, or maybe even the proper decision making, is going to stand out the most here. But I really want to see how Victim actually plays this, just because of how anything can go for Victim. Because like Victim, they've had poor performance coming yesterday. Today they have been very, very consistently trying to make it into the top 5, but at the same time, this is the final game. They are on the 9th position out of the overall score, and if they want to stand a chance to actually make it to the top 5 or maybe even the top 3, it needs to be now, because they have 2 more weeks to go, and this is pretty much a couple more matches left for them to actually compete.
Oh, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, the code is there at the bottom of your screen. Make sure you do try and redeem the code as fast as possible to get some awesome PCS2 goodies. So it's a one-time use, so make sure that you do try and redeem it first here. But I think by now everyone should know the drill. And in any case, yeah, Victim Rise, I mean, they could do with getting into the higher placements. Right now, they have been going for very aggressive plays, and that's been yielding them a number of points in day number 2 compared to, say, day number 1. So that's definitely helped them get into that mid-table standings here. As there's definitely a lot of teams which would love to be in their position that definitely have the history and pedigree of being higher up the table. None other than Cerberus and Archangel Predator. And speaking of which, Victim Rise here, they dropped out at the farm spot, and now I'm going to be over here, of course, at North George. So again, just a slight change as to their pattern.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, they kind of have to do it just because of how limited the loots are in farm, and there were so many engagements and so many struggles they've played in the vicinities of farm where hey, they had run-ins with Buriram, they had run-ins with BAE, they had run-ins with teams rotating from circle, which in the name of Fury, who took so long, came in as well from military base, and I feel like they have to change their spots. This is not enough loots for them. And ever since they've switched towards North George, I feel like it's actually helping them here, and that's gonna be looking great for them. But can they keep it up? Okay, they finally found their footing, considering how like we're gonna be expecting a lot of clashes early on from yesterday's games because not all these teams has actually played each other, and they're still trying to discover where's the best drop spot, where do we do here, what do we do here, what's gonna happen. And it's going to be played in this game itself here. And now from the perspectives of BAE, just 5-minute mark here, they will immediately rotate and push in towards the next phase of the zone.
It looks like a game of marbles taking place here for Fury Australia, and they're probably going to be playing for a few scopes and other bits of loot that they need to redistribute. But they're going to be, again, on the Sosnovka military base. They are always going to be dropping there if they do get the option to. So they're going to be pretty well suited for moving in a little bit later than everyone else, as they're going to be well versed and practiced in that. It's not just this tournament that they have been dropping there. And yeah, it's figuring out the other teams and their drop patterns and really just trying to accommodate for that as well. In the last PCS1, Fury Australia clashed with the likes of Golden Cat over military base consistently until Golden Cat just decided we're not going to go there anymore. That's kind of what happened to Victim Rise in Milta with BAE yesterday, and now BAE is moving away here from the Milta side of things as Kaiser Tuna moving across from the Sosnovka Island, looking to capture some terrain here in their favor.
Very, very fortunate here for Flood. As soon as he stopped and he heard vehicles coming in, you know what? I'm getting the heck out of there. And because of that, because the vehicle was too loud on their end, they could not exactly hear Flood that well as soon as he makes his way away. But that's going to help them out a little bit more. But at the same time, on the screens now, we do see Team Fury with the highest damage from Ronan here, with 9,148 damage done in total. So he's going to be the highest damage dealer as of now in this game.
Yeah, and definitely a title
games, I believe. Yeah.
Yep, yeah, this is in aggregate here, and now we can see the convoy here in complete synchronization. And yeah, Fury Australia, they're actually looking pretty well versed here and practice, ready to take the competition to the rest, and currently being in that second position just by cranking out consistent performances. You know, I mean, that has been the hallmark so far from them. And yeah, I would say that of course, you know, if I were to take all the rounds and whatnot, I would say that yeah, they managed to secure a baseline of points every single time. Divine, of course, they've had the bigger games. That's why they have the more points. But there have been rounds where Divine just haven't showed up as well.
Exactly here, but now you can see shots are coming in. Fury finally making a crash here. It seems to me they will meet the guys in Cerberus Esports here, and Zigo is gonna be there. He's gonna try and bail out of this fight, and fortunately for him, he's gonna be a-okay as the boys in Fury will secure the compound that he was here. And fortunately for him, he did not got crashed in and immediately put a stop by Fury. But still, Cerberus Esports, they are going to be regrouped in the small house here in the garage. It does provide a little bit of cover from off angles to work with, but it is kind of like a choke spot for teams to actually assault that area. So they have to be extremely careful in picking their fights. But still, it is still a medium size or I would say a medium scale defense to work with still early in the stage of the game, which is going to be proved to be very, very helpful transitioning into a later stage of game. However, FTF taking a different approach here, heading towards school and apartments. We haven't seen teams opting to go this for a first spot, camping spot right off the bat here, but it may prove to be helpful here, Jay.
Absolutely. And well, this circle is very neutral. You can see that it's actually quite narrow given the kind of coverage that has over the channel between the small and the big islands there. So that's again going to be a little bit dicey. It still covers quite a bit of that here, and we can see that it's going to shift ever so slightly here down to that southeast. And these teams already are in motion to try and take advantage of that quick movement, but there's still going to be quite a lot of teams quite central already. Divine, Cerberus, and Game Home are going to be those teams that are already securing some of those spots. But now we're seeing Fury Australia not as coordinated as what we saw before. They're just trying to secure some of these spots right close by the Cerberus Esports players, who are actually going for a bit of a 2-2 split, which does offer them a lot of opportunity to control more territory, but it's weaker in being able to fend off against any teams that would crash into them. Basil already taking some damage here from Divine. I'm not sure if he should be strolling out here in this way.
Yep. At the same time here, the mountain terrains are good, slowly being congested as well, because this S-shaped compound here is going to be a lot of forests, a lot of hills to play. We're going to be expecting a lot of long-range fights to come in between pixels here, and this is where things get a little bit interesting here. Do you opt to go for compounds? Do you opt to go for mountain terrain vantage points, or do you opt to go for compounds? Because likely or not, vehicles are extremely important here, and as soon as you go into the compound, you're leaving your vehicles exposed to multiple angles, which you may or may not be able to guard it with your life. So in this case, they have to be extremely careful, especially now with the second phase of Circle, where things are going to get a little bit congested, with also the ocean path with at least 20% covering in this next phase of Circle.
That's quite right. But I think, yeah, there's just not going to be a lot of options for these teams, especially teams like Division X Gaming, who are still rotating in pretty late there from the western side. They're just not going to have a lot to choose from. All the hard compounds, which are few and far between, are going to already be secured. Yikikamukau here taking quite a bit of damage, and Fury Australia, they were one of the earlier movers, and now they're going to have to settle for one of the compounds a little bit more on the periphery here. And yeah, still going to be kind of stuck back where they belong, or not belong, but where they originated from. Now, Division X, they've actually finished their rotation, and they're going to be having enough breathing room between them and the two compound buildings, where we're currently seeing that Cerberus is going to be taking residence. And I know they're going for the 2-2 split, but usually the best opportunity or best positioning of that is going to be close to enough together. Oh, but it looks like Division X Gaming here taking shots, but they're going to return some back to Fury.
Yeah, extremely risky play here coming from Fury, but at the same time, this is what I'm going to be talking about. The compound itself is extremely hard to hold together just because of how many angles that they may or may not actually get flanked in. And on top of that, people assaulting the compound, there's just so many room to push. There's just so many places to fight. Yes, you may able to play the eastern side beautiful here, but your flanks from the western side, like this angle, which you can see Fury has opted to try and clear first in case of any kind of animal assault, which immediately you can see bumps into the guys from Cerberus and also Divinity X Gaming here. And seeing how Division X Gaming is playing right now, Fury, they have to take a chill pill because they've got one kill, yes, but the circle pushing towards the eastern side here is going to be tough for them to push in. And fortunately for them, they have vehicles, but they better pray to God nobody pushes their compound. If someone pushes their compound, they're messed up. They're really, really hard to actually come out alive in that compound.
Yeah, and I think that goes for most of the compounds here. I mean, you just don't want to have to deal with a coin flippy situation like that. And the way that you try and prevent that is just by putting up as much fire as possible. Make sure that these teams do not crash into your compound like what we see Archangel might do here. Calbs actually going very close by. He gets, oh no, he hits the side here right in front of Cerberus. And this could be absolutely detrimental for him. But it's also going to be X Stadium crashing into this compound. They're tossing in the nades here pretty quickly. Haisaki takes down Cubs, but Goktan, he's going to take down Subang and Haisaki in quick fashion. They're all burning alive in here, and there's only going to be that little bathroom there for a little bit of respite. Basil's going to be a little bit further away here, getting a little bit of coverage, but he can't do a lot. They're all going to be on that southern side. X Stadium players who still have 3 left here, but they're all burning up here. Goktan is going down. J-Ken is on his last whiskers of health.
And this is going to be a tough one here. XS, they're pretty much out in the open as well. You can see shots are flying, smokes are there, but XS, they are on 1 HP. And if Zhao knows this, he's going to take them all out, but he's going to get pushed as well. However, on another kill feed here, we see the guys in Magic Esports. They are going to be pushing those guys of AAP. And this is why I'm talking about this circle. Every single angle is going to come in. But guess what? Fury, they are going to get crashed in. MSC is here. And it's so hard to secure the compound if you're not grouped up. There's just so many angles to push in. But now, immediately getting pushed here. MSC going for the push. They will not be able to pick up one member. And they are going to go down. But Gao with the huge flag. He survives this. He's going to go for 1v1s. Again, they're coming in one by one. He gets another one. He's going to eventually get pushed in by another team. And he will fall and bow out. But fortunately for him, the damage has been done. He leaves one man standing. Basil is still alive. So they're not out yet. But unfortunately to say, there's still 16 teams left alive. But however, on the kill feed, BAE in the Fur Horde gets a couple of knocks in. But Fury, without Yukika Mukao, do they still want to exit this year? Do they still have the controls to fight this? Because a lot of angles are going to be setting their targets at them just because they are at the edge of the circle.
Yeah, well, they have to see how their cards are going to be playing out here for the next zone. Day Trade is actually still going to be relatively passive here in this game, and it seems as though we've seen quite a few bits of carnage that already erupted here from our final match of the day. Now, it looks like zone here is going to be fairly neutral and favoring most of these teams that already secured with a hard-fought victories, I dare say, right in the center of the circle. Now, Fury is already on the move here. They know that it's not tenable to stay put there any longer. They're going the long way around here, not to face the full brunt of MC Therathon. Going to be able to use the topography just well enough here, and they're actually consolidating their position here. But Battle Arena Elites still with 4 players up there, getting the long range shots there. Sophia going to take out Joxy as he is heading a little bit too straight, and the Vanguard player there for Battle Arena Elites will be able to secure this kill. It does look like now there's only going to be the 2 other players there from Fury Australia, and
this is insane coming from Battle Arena Elites. If you think about it, they've took one of the highest possible compounds to go for this kind of long-range shots, and Sophia soloing a compound down the southern section. They've been controlling the southern section for quite some time, and they're just making sure like there's gonna be like a lot of map control. In this case, Sophia flexing his muscles in the southern side, showing that, hey, I'm not alone. I'm shooting like I am alone, but I'm shooting like I have 10,000 people behind me. And because of that, people are not contesting them. And this is going to buy a little more, so much map control coming from Battle Arena Elites. And this is forcing all the teams to push up north. And this might be an opportunity for BAE, because if you see the compound early on, the rest of the guys from BAE can secure 3 compounds in the next phase and also going for the fight. However, hold that thought for now. Inside with a huge frag, taking 3 guys in the process.
But yeah, the map control taken there by Battle Arena Elites, as you said, definitely is a master stroke here. And you want to make as much noise as possible. And yeah, earlier on, we didn't see Cerberus make enough noise. And that's exactly why the likes of X Stadium crashed right into their compound. And yeah, we're not seeing a lot more from those teams here at the moment. Day Trade moving up here on this northwestern side here. They're going to be able to catch out Game Home as he's trying to make a rotation just as they popped up over the top. Now Game Home have to watch their flanks here. Pucha is here taking quite a bit of damage here as the flank watch is going to be able to repel or dampen the attack ever so slightly here. But Flash is going to be on the case here. And now looks like we're seeing that something else here is actually going to get picked off there by From the Future. The third party action here is really not working well here in the Vietnamese team's favor.
Yep, every team from the north side is pretty much legging this way into the zone here. Not a lot of cover to work with, and this is the problem with vantage points, right? You have a lot of vantage, but as soon as the circle comes in without vehicles, you are going to get messed up from multiple angles. In this case, there's going to be a huge cluster mess up top here. Day Trade, they have to make a move here. Game Home going for the push here. Godray won't knock out and finish off Flash, and he's going to be knocked out at the moment here. But Nautica going for a huge push. Norris as well forced to reload up, but he's tanking zone. It seems to be he wants to go for God Nui. Nui going for the huge flank. He gets clipped from the side and he will go down. You can see Game Home immediately paying. And what was that shot? What? How did he get the knock? But Norrin's getting messed up from the eastern side here as From the Future will third party in, just casually gets a couple of kills. Guess what? I'm pretty happy about this here from the boys in FTM.
Oh yeah, I mean they're really taking advantage of the opportunities given to them here. And now Vanotica is the last player left here. It looks like Astra getting wiped out in one fell swoop there by Buriram United. And that is going to be, again, another bit of rivalry there. Vanotica just not able to use the vehicle well enough there. And he's going to get picked off by Levi's. It was almost a masterstroke run. I always love it when people are using moving vehicles in that manner. But didn't really work out for J-Train, and they're going to exit out.
Feels bad for him, but at the same time, the game must continue, the show must go on. Battle Arena leads with 4 kills so far, and they're finally regrouping here. They control the southern section here, but Sophia, he needs to regroup his rest of the teams. The teams are controlling the southern section of the pie, and so far, looks good for them. Not many teams on towards the southern section, but however, the next phase of the circle is something they gotta worry about, because right now, the rest of the teams are engaging on the northern section here. In this case, Buriram gets scouted out. FF from the future is here. They predicted the future. They've got 4 kills. They're taking fights after fights, and they will get another one here. Buriram will make their ways into the circle as of now. They do have the information to work with. And FTF, they're going to be setting up shop, but EAD, oh no, he gets scouted out by Defiant instead. Tried to go for flank, did not happen. That's going to be a huge win for FTF.
Yeah, not going to be able to see Buriram United get another win here, but oh my god, look at this precarious stop here for Kaiser Tuna. It's going to result in 2 of their players getting taken down with the last here with almost and he's completely wiped out. And I think that situation could have been completely avoided there. I don't know what was going on, but they need to revoke their driver's licenses straight away.
The UAZ blocked the entrance. They could not go in for cover. Oh my god, that feels bad moment, Jay. Oh, I feel bad for them. Ouch. But at the same time, the show must go on. And as you can see, 9 teams left, 27 left alive. Division X Gaming is alive as well. They will push from the southern section here, and they know it's pretty much clear for the moment, but little did they know BAE has been there, and BAE's got to be extremely careful about this. But nope, never mind. Loki sees them. He goes in for the shot. Bye NBK. He's looking for more. Can he blow up the vehicle though? Because the tires are getting popped up, and this is not looking good for Division X Gaming because they are on the edge of the circle, and without those vehicles, he's not going to be able to cross the road right now.
Yeah, and they got the full attention of Battle Arena Elite, so that is definitely not something that is going to help extend your chances here into getting into the late game, as now we're already going to be seeing how these teams have to try and navigate here in the farmland side of things. Battle Arena Elite's going to be pretty happy with this one, but we're going to have to see Divine and from the future get a little bit more involved with the action down here on the south side. It's been a little bit quiet there. Divine have only secured 2 kills so far in this particular round, so that's something that they're going to have to try and up the ante if they want to try and get inside Division X here. They have just the shack to work with, and I'm not sure how much utility is still available to them between the 3 of them. They might have enough here, but it looks like Divine picking a fight with From the Future, and this might be a little bit detrimental for both of these teams, as they're just not going to be able to get inside the zone at all, either team.
Yep, they have to make a stretch into this next phase of the circle. You can see Victim already crashing in, and guess what? They're crashing to the same spot. The shack is going to be completely destroyed, but on top of that, yes, you can go into the shack, but this shack is breakable. It's kind of breakable, and they broke it. So in this case, it's not the most ideal situation, but at the same time, with the graveyard corpse of so much vehicles, that's actually one of the best places to have so much cover to work with. And Victim, can they abuse this? This is going to be a right moment for them, and they have a lot of time to work with. However, FTF, they're going to have a small run-in from MSC. MSC, they completely destroyed them. Oh my goodness, everyone from FTF gets annihilated. What a shot by Yoshi Minburi.
Oh, absolutely mowed down, and they had no chance right there. But it looks like Vassal here, he's going to expire. Cerberus is out here of this match number 4. Now, MSC Theathon, can they build on that here? Let's see. We haven't really seen what they could do with a full force. We only see what Yoshi Minburi is able to accomplish so far today. 1 chicken dinner. He's taken out an entire squad, all trying to rush on his compound. But the barrels.
Where are you going? Where are you going? You're out in the open. Can you survive? No, he cannot. Feels bad for Victim. Oh my god. But you can see, right, Jay, that slowly but surely the amount of corpses of vehicles are slowly piling up in this phase. Everyone is trying to secure those compounds, and BAE, they're making a lot of work in this situation. They're trying to capitalize on all this as much as they can, do as much as damage as they can, and controlling those vantage points from the eastern side has proven a lot of significant work. Likewise for the guys from Divine Esports on the northwest section, and Archangel also picking a very similar fight. But as the circle is closing in, you can see everyone is bullying and the guys are victim, and BAE having one of the highest vantage points in building is just taking fights after fights, whereas Sophia is on solo mode, going on a hunting spree. I'm not sure what has happened, but he single-handedly killed 2 guys by himself. Sophia, what the heck?
Yeah, well, he is reprising his Terminator role that we happened to see from him yesterday, and now he's going to be able to clean up the rest of Division X Gaming by himself. And now, look at this circle. Battle Arena Elites has got so much control over this game. They have got a minor presence to the north of the main compound that they're occupying in the form of the Archangel Predator boys, but there's only 2 of them. Divine Esports, they're still in this game, so that's still probably going to be ultimately the clash between these 2 top table teams, but it is still absolutely dicey. MSC Theathon could make it go either way. Currently, they're still holding on to this compound. They're absolutely smothered in smokes. They cannot see the advance here. Rosita Jr. is throwing out some panic utility here as they're going to find this home invasion. It's going to be really dangerous as they are just going to be having the angles to work with to toss in inside the building.
Dude, there's so many vehicles here. Everyone is just camping into this compound, but will Divine Esports capitalize on this? Because as of now, MSC, they're getting flanked, and guess what? Sophia is here. The nades are coming in. Sophia is gonna turn 40. BAE, they won this, and you can see the nades! Sophia, he gets 2. What a nade from Sophia! Oh, they're all dead. They're all dead. Oh my God, what a crazy man! This guy is single-handedly wiping everyone. BAE, what a shot! What is that, Sophia? Look at this mess here! Oh my goodness,
what are we watching
Sophia.
right now? This is absolutely insane. And Sophia, he's right in the thick of things here. Now there's only Divine Esports. MSC Theathon completely wiped from the face of this earth here. And now he is looking for any more of the Vietnamese players to start popping their heads through. And unfortunately, doesn't have any more grenades to speak of, but he takes down Jen here. And now he has to back off a little bit. He is all by himself still. Neferhor moving up from behind. He finally gets knocked down and taken down, but there is still going to be hope here. Battle Arena Elites still have 3 players left, but Jen is still down, and the blue zone is going to be starting to fry his feet.
Oh, he still got 1 knock, but the aggressive push coming from Divine Esports does not be able to do it here. But at the same time, you can see the wall of smokes are coming in, but BAE will finally get the 10 kill mark here as the rest of the teams are still engaging. But still, BAE, they are still in the outskirts of the circle. They will send Neferhor up ahead here, but AAP are still guarding them as of now. Archangel Philippines are still in the game here, and they're not out for the count. But Divine Esports, they're looking to flex their muscle. They're looking to get the second chicken dinner for today, and to close things out, they are 4-man healthy, and it's all up towards BAE to stop them. Can they do it here? The Furrow is in the circle, and so is the boys in Divine Esports, and they have to be extremely careful. But look at this. There's not a lot of cover for Divine Esports. They have the advantage, but still, it's going to be proning games after proning games, and BAE, they're going to be conquering from the south. And look at this, there's so many places to push in from. There's south side, there's the west side, there's from the east side as well. And there's so many angles to work with, just not enough to fight with. But Float, he will bleed out to the zone, holding Archangel in his tracks. And that's going to be another pretty unfortunate here. Looking good for Divine Esports with 4-man healthy. Will they tag team against Divine Esports here? And seems to me Divine Esports will use the supply crate for a little bit more advantage here. Flute not going to be able to pick him from outside the zone, but as the boys from AAP's got to make a move right now.
Yeah, I think we're looking at BAE's chances now. They are down to 2 players, but they have to try and see if there's going to be in a way for Archangel Predator to engage at the same time. Of course, both of these teams are going to kind of know what's up here. If they know that it can't be one full squad that's left here. This has to be more than one, so that could be something that's going to be in their mind. Now, there's still going to be the 4-man squad there for Divine that's going to be attracting most of the attention. They are going to be a little bit more on the audacious side. The Battle Arena Elites, they do have that very central spot, but now the fight is actually being taken to them here by both teams at the same time. There's still a bit of damage here, as one of them is taking so much damage, but Dian, he's going to be able to get the heal, but Levi's, he's taken quite a bit of damage himself, and now look at how many smokes are going to be there. They are utility dumping right now as much as they can. They are out of frags here, but look, they're all trying to push down one side. Neferhor is going to get taken down first. Divide and conquer. They're going to be pushing down this flank. They're looking for Lokis here, and they might be able to finish off the Malaysian team.
And there's gonna be a great spray here. Loki's trying to use and cover her off his teammate, and he's gonna be not gonna be able. And he gets prone out, he gets caught out. Nice flash there coming from Divine Esports, and they will go in for the rush. And that's gonna be a successful one here. AAP taking a shield pill. They know it's two separate teams here. As soon as the smoke come in, the smoke walls comes in, and it's gonna be Divine Esports trying to flex as well. So are they gonna get the 2 chicken dinner for today? And they are gonna go for a push. Archangel Predator, this is their first top 2 ever. Will they win it against this fight? 2v4 now. Divine Esports, they're searching for angles. Eternal will scout one, and that's gonna be game. Divine Esports takes 2 chicken dinners for today, taking the leaderboard. Jay, what a game, what a game, what a game.
Oh man, the action was absolutely scintillating there right at the end there. Sophia put on quite the fireworks display, and yeah, there was a junkyard right there by the shack, and I bet you all the teams that actually rotated over there later on, they were wondering, why is there so much loot here? This is absolutely incredible, you know, and it's like, yeah, boxes upon boxes upon boxes.
Exactly. I think if you think about it, there's Cerberus Esports there, there's XS, there's MSC, there's also some of the boys from Divine Esports.
Victim Rise.
Victim as well. There's just so many people trying to push that compound. But that's the beauty of that compound, right? That's how strong that compound is. But at the same time, if you keep getting pushed non-stop, there's no way you're going to be able to secure the compound. And likewise, eventually, the victors of that fight was none other than Divine Esports. But still, I feel a little bit sad. Like, in that moment that Sophia wiped out single-handedly the whole squad, he was left alone. It was like, okay, we wiped out the whole squad, but they did not expect a full-fledged squad pushing him from that angle, and it's just a little bit sad. Like, I wanted to see more. If Sophia survived that fight, probably they would have gave Divine Esports a run for their money, because you can see they were flexing their positioning all the way through from BAE. They were constantly like, hey, you know what? This guy here, let's take all the fights that they can. But eventually they did the job done. But it's just unfortunate that placements did not help them, because Divine Esports, they were doing exactly the same thing. But instead of focusing for kills, they focused on placements, which eventually led to kills. They had the manpower, they had the kills, they've got 11 kills, 21 points. They are still leading the pack. But nevertheless, Battle Arena Elites managed to remain in the top spot by the end of the day in top 2. Battle Arena Elites undeniably still defending the title of securing Erangel's points here, Jay.
Yeah, so right now, Divine Esports is going to still be leading a little bit here after being able to pull out that chicken dinner. But Battle Arena Elites definitely getting some good points here from this game. 15 points there. Archangel Predator, best result from them, and looking a little bit closer to their former selves, but they still have got a lot of work to do. MSC Therathon going to be capping off a relatively successful day for them here, as 8 points definitely going to be boosting up their chances and to bolster that earlier chicken dinner that we did see from them. Day Trade Gaming seemingly always getting 4 points in every single game. It would seem that since we've had that 30-point game from them yesterday, they need to try and find some measure of consistency, similar to Divine Esports, who now on 3 chicken dinners, and they've managed to get into the top 2 as well on a couple occasions. Definitely something to aspire to. But in the second half of the table, definitely a lot of challengers really not turning up in this one. Buriram United getting eliminated pretty early on, and they're only going to get 3 points for that. Damage-wise, we are going to see that CJ is going to be returning back to these charts here, as he was finally able to strut his stuff, as we know he is absolutely capable of. And, of course, we're going to be seeing 2 Battle Arena Elites players here, as they're going to weigh in quite substantially for the damage. Loki's 568, and, of course, Sophia with the 522, and those nades, man, going to be making up quite a substantial chunk of that damage.
Yep. At the same time here, this is going to be the overall leaderboards out of all day 2, including day 1 score. Divine Esports leading with a huge margin here with 52 kills and 92 points, totaling up of 3 chicken dinners here. The only team so far taking 3 chicken dinners, and nobody's haven't had their second chicken dinners yet. However, Battle Arena Elite is not too far behind because they've got kill points, they've got placement points. They're not too far behind from Divine Esports, but it's going to be a long stretch next week if they want to stand a chance to take the crown away from Divine Esports. However, Fury maintaining consistency here, coming in from PCS1. They were in 4th place. PCS2, they are on 3rd place here, still maintaining their pride and glory and joy. But Day Trade Gaming will be on the 4th place here. Buriram United Esports on the 5th place. Division X Gaming falling down to the 6th place here. Astra makes their way up to 7th place. Victim Rise will come up towards the 8th place in this matter here. But on the bottom side, we have Game Home Esports on 9th place, MSC Territon on the 10th place, X Stadium the 2 on the 11th place, and the following as it goes down, Archangel Predator on the final 2nd place here. And we did see a couple plays coming in. It's just unfortunate that they could not move their placements here. It's just one great round from CJ. It's I don't know, man. Like Jay, like can they actually make a comeback from this?
Well, I mean, Archangel Predator, we know that they're capable of it. It's just whether with this roster they're going to be able to do it here, but it definitely looks promising. But this is already when we started to see a lot of the meat grinder action here. Game Home and Day Trade getting really stuck in, and in the end, neither of the teams did manage to make this out. And yeah, I think this circle, or rather this particular match, was all about the downright grittiness of it. And this is the first instance here, Kaiser Tuna in trouble and a little bit too quick to the party here, and that was going to punish them substantially. Oh my god, it just looks like a fail army right here.
Yeah, I know, right? Look at this. Like, this meat grinders after meat grinders. It was a huge round from MSC. They destroyed the guys from Victim. But at the same time, there was just so much assault coming in. Nobody's been able to find a circle to come in. But Sophia, with a huge nade, just destroys everyone from MSC, completely shutting them down here. But at the same time, Divine Esports, let's give credit where credit is due, because BAE was doing exactly that in southeast corner. Archangel Predator was doing it in the northeast corner, but Divine Esports was single-handedly doing it on the northwest corner, controlling every point, taking kills after kills, just destroying them. But eventually, this is going to be the top 5 damage by the end of the day in day 2. Turtle to Divine Esports topping the damage output with 1,889, followed by Ronan with an insane clutch in the taking the chicken dinner in game number 2. GenForce also stepping up in this game, 3rd place here with 1,619 points from Victim. Yukika Muka also pulling the mark in from Fury as well. And last but not least, is going to be Dion from Divine Esports taking the damage here in 1,467 points here. And this is pretty much the best players for today here, Jay. Do you think it's credit where credit is here for this?
Well,
player?
I mean, we have seen a good performances coming out here, and I think maybe if we look at who looks a bit slightly out of place, I mean, people might say that Victim Rises GenForce here, featuring in that 3rd position, might be a little bit odd considering the standings. But let's not forget that Victim Rise, they were absolutely aggressive today in the 2nd day of the competition, and yeah, not so much going for the placements or playing it safe. So they definitely been working their way. And Divine, though their lead is a bit higher than the likes of Fury, I think it's reasonable here looking at this. Fury definitely has been maybe slightly a bit more aggressive. Divine have prioritized good positioning, and once they have the good positioning and they have an advantage, then they will take an aggressive fight against the rest of the competition.
Yep, I feel like there's gonna be a mix up here for the next week's matches here, because slowly but surely teams are slowly stepping up. In today's game, the biggest step up for me is gonna be Victim, just because of how different their play is as well from GenForce and Yukika. These 2 players are the players that yesterday they fell a little bit short. They were still shining, but they're just not outshining everyone. And now having the highest damage here, we saw a lot of really great clutches moment. But what was really surprising for me is Sophia, because like final match, he did so much work. But it's just unfortunate that in the map of Miramar, BAE is a little bit shaky. It feels like yeah, BA is considered like top 2 right now in the standings, but except for Erangel, Miramar is extremely shaky for them, and I feel like they need to work on Miramar if they want to actually stand a chance to take down Divine Esports, where Divine Esports is kind of like by far now in this tournament the all-rounder with a 10-3 chicken dinners.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, as they definitely need to be able to get something from the other map of this competition, you know. So, I mean, you can't just do it on Erangel. And even then, you know, their best result today which was match number 4, again, fell short against Divine directly. So definitely they're going to have to try and think of how they want to try and improve on this rather than just winning bigger, because now the lead is up to 18 points here between Battle Arena Elites and Divine Esports. But of course, there's still plenty of games to play. But I think now with the week break before we have our the next round of competition on Saturday and Sunday for another 8 rounds is going to be one that they can definitely reflect on and see how they want to try and change things up for Miramar. Because let's not forget, there's not been a lot of time to prepare after, you know, since the scrim started yesterday before the matches. So they haven't had the time to really go back to the drawing board and change things up. And I think that's the same across the board here. A lot of these teams will probably favor that amount of time that they have to work with, go back, rethink and re-strategize, come back nice and fresh next Saturday for another 4 rounds.
Yep. At the same time, we're going to be closing the series for today. I hope you guys enjoyed PCS2 APAC day number 2. And day 3 is going to be starting next week on Saturday, same time. So be sure to come back. However, there are other regions as well to watch out. So there's going to be other channels come in. But Jay, before closing things out, any final words before we say bye-bye?
Well, I think for me, just a big thanks to everyone who tuned into the show, and a big thanks to our sponsors, Predator, and of course, PUBG Corporation. And of course, it's all brought to you here by Geek Events.
And of course, it's brought to you for the casters themselves. We have Play of the J and none other than IC Baby 12. We'll see you guys next week.